Are we
What is up, you
live?
guys?
Let's go.
We are live. Yes, sir. Wholesome, you hit this one off.
What's good, Canes family? How y'all doing? This right here is the best collab that money can buy because it's free for you, baby. Every hurricane that's in here right now brings experience, brings knowledge, and number one, love for each other and love for the Miami Hurricanes. This right here is all love. It's not debate. There's no hatred. There's no me versus you. This is all of us coming together to bring to you all the best show that we possibly can. I know I might be lagging a little bit because I'm using a phone and everybody else has fancy laptops. But as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. The number one thing we want to get to, I'm going to let everybody go down the list, go one by one. Introduce yourself, say your channel, and plug your channel a little bit, and then we'll get started talking about the scrimmage and fall camp up to this point. And first off, go ahead, Anton, as the host of our show. Go ahead, boss.
All right, y'all. I'm Anton. Miami Hurricanes Time is my channel that you're on right now. But be sure in the link down below, click, and the rest of these guys' channels should be there. We're keeping it here for this show, but we'll be on rotation, and I'm just super excited for this Category 5 show. Greatest collab on YouTube. We're going to break the internet today, and I'm just thankful for Wholesome and the idea of bringing us all together.
All right, Paul, take off.
My name is Paul. My channel is Miami Hurricanes Talk, and just want to thank everyone for joining us today, and Junior and the Big Dog as well, joining the show with the new school Canes. I can't say enough how excited I am to be here with you guys. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, sir.
And last but not least, Junior up first, and then we'll do Big Dog. Junior, go ahead, boss.
Yes, sir, baby. Junior and the Big Dog guys can't express how excited we are for this collaboration, man. This is just goes to show you we're all family. This is Kane's fam, and this is something that Wholesome, thought about, pitched it to me and the Big Dog, and we were like, why not, baby? There's nothing better. There's nothing more dangerous than a Category 5 hurricane. So
Right.
let's give it
Yes,
to them,
sir.
baby. So I'm very excited for this journey, and this is the first one, but one of many to come. So hope that you guys enjoy, and yeah, go along with us on this process. Go ahead, Big Dog.
Well, I think there you go. I'm Big Dog, and the just excited. Love these guys, New School Canes. I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again for those who might have not heard it. We've only been at this about 3.5 months, and when you have these guys right here that have established channels in Wholesome and Anton and Paul, instead of throwing shade our way or trying to ignore us, it's been the complete contrary. That they've helped us build the channel, and they've just been incredible to us, and it just shows that what Canes fam is all about. And I'm excited to see everybody here, and looking forward to talking some Canes football.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you know your boy, the wholesome one, Holloway, representing the U family. And that's what this is about. That U family right there. And even though I got the U family from Alonzo1219. Of course, shout out to him and the love for Alonzo1219.
Absolutely.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, we I'm not gonna throw any bones, but we might have some nice things for you guys in the future. But for right now, we want to focus in on bringing this collab to you all. I see in the comment section now, couldn't wait for this to happen. Never thought this could happen. But that's one thing about family. When we come together for one common goal, it's unstoppable. And tonight, we want to bring to you all the best live show. And of course, I had to pull out the alternate Calais Campbell black jersey.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was a gift years ago. Obviously, it was a 2X. I was a lot smaller back then, so no fat jokes in the comments.
Hey, trust me, I'm with you.
But let's start off. We've already done introductions. Let's get to business. Now we're gonna give it a little while. 57 in the chat right now, with only 5 minutes in, so more and more people put this on your Twitters.
Yeah.
Share it anywhere because we're doing. This is going to be more of a Q&A type thing. We're going to talk about the scrimmage, give our opinions, but we're going to do a lot of question and answer tonight. What we're going to do more specifically, if you have a specific question for someone, put at and then their name, but all of us are going to give an answer anyway. If you put at, then the first person is going to answer. That person who you said is going to answer first, and then everyone else is just going to answer anyway. But I see a lot of scrimmage questions. If I started off with Anton, Junior, I want you to knock it out of the park. Your feelings based on, because no one has seen this. I haven't even seen any highlight tapes for it. Has anybody, Junior, you want to go ahead and take off and talk about your feelings on what you've heard about the scrimmage?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I haven't seen no footage, but I did see the post scrimmage interview with Manny last night, and then I listened to Manny on 560 this morning on the Joe. I guess it's called now. It's no longer just 560 WQAM. It's the Joe now. A lot of changes down here in South Florida with their radio station. So, but nonetheless, they did have Manny on, and he was pleased. He was pleased. Didn't really give, a sure answer when it comes to the quarterbacks. I don't think any of us could expect a clear answer, but he was pleased. And when he talks about the 71 completion percentage with the three as a whole, I mean, regardless of who it is that either you're rooting for or regardless of who you think the quarterback might be, I think it's just a promising sign. The fact that the three of them collectively completed 71% of their passes. And so that's something I was thrilled to see. I was, very excited to see. Besides that, Gervin Hall showed his butt off. I think all of us are very excited about Gervin Hall. And yeah, man. DJ, he was very impressed with DJ Dallas. And I think DJ actually caught a touchdown. He's very versatile. We all know, DJ is a heck of a pass catcher. He could run the football. He could do many things for his offense. And Dan Enos is gonna exploit that. I mean, he's gonna put DJ in him and Enos. I mean, they're gonna put DJ in a position to succeed. And I think that's something that we're already starting to see, especially with the first scrimmage. But besides that, man, it kind of feels like he's keeping a closed lid on this for now. But he said that this week coming up, especially, is going to be the most crucial 6 days before this weekend scrimmage coming up. And this week is basically, it sounds like it's going to ultimately decide, especially in the quarterback position and in other position groups in general, what spots are going to be taken. So, I mean, we'll see.
Okay. Great response. Great answer. Great job on keeping good time too. Me and Big Dog already know we could start spewing for a minute.
I'm trying to keep it short, baby. I'm trying to keep it short.
When it comes to our Canes. Paul, go ahead and give your response. I know you did a video on it, but the people would love to hear the great soliloquy in which that Paul has ready to take off.
Yeah, one thing I was looking forward to in the fall scrimmage was a quarterback separating himself amongst the group. I think as a fan base, we can all agree nobody really separated themselves, it seems like, from the quarterback group. That's what I was most looking into. It's great to hear that Gervin Hall, he made 2 interceptions. Derek Smith has been making a bunch of plays throughout fall camp. And then we have Bubba Bolden, who just announced on Instagram that he will be coming to Miami next week. I don't know if you guys saw that. So that's big. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the safety group as a whole. And Robert Knowles, total tackle, guys. Is that taken with a grain of salt, or should we be excited? What do you guys think about that? But one thing I am interested in seeing this next week, Coach Enos, when spring ended, saying he wants to eliminate one quarterback in the race. You guys remember him saying that?
Yep.
Are we going to do that? Is he going to, stick to his word, or are we just going to let all three just play out in quarterback competition? So we'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Big Dog, take off.
The couple of takes that I was happy about. It seems that our offense started holding its own against our defense, and I believe our defense is elite. Now, mind you, I imagine some of the success might have gone, when the offense was the ones going against the twos, and I get that, okay? But at the same time, I think it's it's encouraging that we're seeing much higher completion percentages. We're seeing guys starting to really fit into the Enos offense. One of the things that Manny talked about was that seeing the scrimmage, it was pretty cool seeing how different it was from the spring. The way he called it is that in the spring they were counting their dance steps. Like, you know, when you're trying to learn to dance, that they were counting their dance steps, and now it's not like that anymore. Now you see their talent come out because they're not thinking, they're running their patterns crisply, and they're starting to really understand how the offense is supposed to work, and that's an encouraging sign. You know, I that's one thing, guys. As great as our defense was last year, if our offense was even average, we probably have a 10-win season. Our passing offense, I should say, was even average. I think we have a 10-win season. So the fact that we're seeing that now, I think is really, really encouraging. And that was the biggest take for me, that I was happy that the offense seemingly held its own.
Got you. All right, Anton, here you go.
All right. Well, I think the biggest thing that came to me out of all the news was the fact that many didn't disclose this exact stats, but 71% completion for all the quarterbacks combined. That is Dan Enos doing his thing. Okay. We can argue and sit around who we want to start, but regardless, whoever starts, they're doing the job well and are improving across the board. And, you know, we don't like maybe, you know, somebody's pass here, somebody's skill here, but Danny knows exactly what he needs from a passer, the skills and how they can get those done. And it's just great and thrilling for me to see that. And then Diaz, he's basically said it, look, if you want to stay on the ship, this is your week coming up right now. This is when you have to prove it. And his comments and his demeanor after scrimmage was very exciting. He sees the work being done. He still knows that there's progress to be made, but he's saying this is the battle of three guys going at it. It's going to be intense. But after this week, I think it's going to be narrowed down whether it be public or not. But it's great to see anybody that's on that Miami roster with a QB as a position is getting great experience with Dan Enos being there as a coach.
Got you. All great responses. See, Canes, this is why we brought it together, Canes fam. Look at that. This is the one time to maximize all of our opinions. You don't have to go to 3 different channels, 4 different. You come to one channel tonight, once a month, to get all of our opinions all together. First of all, I want to say thank you. 77 in the chat right now.
Wow.
11 minutes in, 12 minutes. That's amazing. What a blessing. And $2 donations from Buddy Woodward. He always looks out. Even, you know, Junior the Bigdog, New School Canes. I do a live stream. He always looks out, and it's a blessing that all of you are here. Just thank you all so very much. We are going to do a Q&A after our very next question, and I'll go down the line. But in my opinion, having to come back and get back around the guys, got with training camp today at NDSU, and it was nice to see football be around it again from that level. You know, really coaching the interior defensive tackles. That's how it is as a student assistant. Like, I get all the bags and the coffee and stuff, but it's okay. You know, you appreciate those days when you finally get your opportunity. You know, as a position coach, as a coordinator, as a head coach, which is kind of where I'm trying to go. But this is about the Canes, and to see how the thought process of being a Miami Hurricane has changed. I liken this season to kind of like coming off of 2014, going into 2015. We were 6-6. It wasn't like you saw there was a lot of talent, but you're wondering to yourself, how do we put this together? You know, then you look at that 2015 season, we were 2 or 3 games away from being 10-win season also.
Yeah.
The only issue with that is we have to go out there and actually do it. You know, you look at the Coastal and you say, oh, that's 10 wins every year. Miami should be a 10-win team. And it's one thing to have the mindset. It's one thing to talk really good like Al Golden. It's one thing to recruit really well like Mark Richt. What is Manny Diaz going to do to make sure that he actually puts all of those things together and separates himself? And from this first scrimmage, what I'm hearing, number one, he didn't give us too much. He gave us just enough. And that's the signs of a great head coach. Even Dabo Swinney, even Lincoln Riley, like you listen to their first couple of, they don't say much. You know, they don't let too much out. They don't get the fans too excited. They don't want to invest too much into it because there's still things that need to be done in order to take that next step. And that's the signs of a coach that's willing to give enough, understand that that's enough, and let's move forward. So let's all talk about, and I'll give everybody 3 to 4 minutes. Talk to me about how do you all feel so far into, what is this, week 7, practice 7 or 8 that we're in right now?
Right.
How do you guys feel, you know, coming off of spring, moving into this fall? You know, me and Junior were able to make a practice. So I want to start off, Big Dog. Let you take it off. Let's see how you feel in the spring, into fall camp right now, up until this very point, August 5th. How do you feel about the Miami Hurricanes offseason?
I feel guardedly optimistic. And when I say optimistic, my optimism is being a contender for a championship. My optimism is, oh, we won the Coastal. No, that's not to me. And you know, I'm I'm an old man, so
Right.
I've been through what Canes football was. Canes football, that a one-loss season to us was not a success.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel with the moves that Manny's made on the staff, especially excited with David Feely, Butch Berry, Dan Enos. Jury's out on a couple of them, but I love the fact that he put David Cooney in charge of recruiting. I mean, he's done some masterful strokes with the staff, and then when you combine that with what he's done in the transfer portal, we got 23 commits. It's August. It's the beginning of August. We have 23 commits for the 2020 class, which is amazing. Okay. And we're still in the hunt with Justin Flo. We're in his top 4. We're still in the hunt for Darnell Washington. We're still in the hunt for Trenton Simpson, because I don't think he's going to stick on that Auburn commit.
Right.
We're still in the hunt with some big fish that are out there that Manny. Listen, Justin Flo released his top 4. Alabama wasn't on it.
USC wasn't on it. That was
wasn't
crazy.
on it.
That was crazy to me.
So right there, that shows you the way Manny's positioning. There's something that he's doing for this week that's I'm really excited about. He alluded to it last night a little bit. He alluded to it a lot this morning on the Joe Rose show. Manny's setting up this week on the players, on the quarterbacks especially, but everywhere, with the corners, with Blaze and Ivy. He's setting up this week like if it's a championship week, meaning he's going to put pressure on you, because what he wants is the players to treat this week like if it was a game.
Right.
That means every practice you got to be sharp. There's no mulligans. You know, there's no, I had a bad day today. That ain't no big deal. I'll make it up tomorrow. What Manny wants this week is for the guys to treat it like every single day is critical, because if not, you might not have a job. And I love that. I love that. That's the way it was been done at Miami when we were at our best. And that part, the way he's setting up this week, I'm really excited about. Because when the pressure's on, that's when you know what guys do when the games count.
Exactly. So we move from Big Dog to Junior. Talk to me.
I'll be honest, man. You know, and you alluded to it a little bit in talking about the 2015 season going into like the 2016 season. I've been a fan roughly for about 20 years. I've never felt this kind of optimism and this kind of excitement ever in all my 20 years of being a fan for the Hurricanes. And I say that for a few reasons. When Mark Richt, you know, stepped down, you know, me and the Big Dog discussed it, and we were like, hey, man, so who do you want? Who do you want to be the head coach? And we're both like, Manny. You know what I'm saying? Manny. And I think we've all seen it. that Manny just gets it. You know, he came in, look what he did with our defense. So I have no worries when it comes to our defense, but one of my question marks, kind of, because he brought in all the right people, in my opinion, especially with the Dan Enos hire. He knocked that one out of the ballpark. We didn't even hear about Dan Enos being a candidate for that offensive coordinator position at all. I mean, so the fact that he had that one up his sleeve, he wasn't kidding when he said, listen, if we don't get our number one guy, our second, third, and fourth guy that we have in our minds could be just as good as that number one guy. So it was very impressive to see, you know, him bringing Dan Enos and putting him away from Saban, frankly, because he was lined up to take that job at Alabama. But what I'm most impressed with, you know, besides all the coaching staff, is the players. And I think one of the big things that was holding this team back was accountability for the players. And the fact that they were getting drilled with, listen, you got to work on this in the summer, and you got to hold yourself accountable, but as well, you know, be a leader, hold your teammates accountable, you know, and I'm seeing that. Frankly, I mean, you look at this team in the spring, especially with the scrimmages, and even though we haven't really seen a scrimmage yet in the fall, we did see the practices, and we're hearing the coaches, we're seeing the players, you know, with their physique, you know, what David Feely has done to these kids, man. They're completely transforming their bodies, but they're holding each other accountable, and you could see that they put in the work in the summer when the coaches weren't there. When you don't have a coach breathing down your neck, that's where you really see whether, you know, this player wants to be good or this player wants to be great. And we want players that want to be great at this U. So I was very pleased with seeing, you know, the progress that a lot of these players made. They look sharper. They're in hell of a shape, and they just, you know, they're enjoying the level of competition that Manny has instituted since he took over this job. Like, just saying, listen, we want to compete. You want to be the best. Get after it. Get out, and we're seeing that. And we're just seeing the level in every single position group. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that we haven't seen a clear-cut quarterback take over that number one spot is a testament of all three of them collectively getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think, and we're seeing that with every single position group, frankly. You know, Blades making a move on Ivy. I mean, we're seeing it across the board, man. Like, these players are getting after it. They're competing, and they're holding each other accountable. And that's what I'm most pleased with, you know, from spring to fall and now heading into the opener.
Hey, Wholesome, can you give me 1 second before we keep going with this question? I need to do a quick shout out to one of our Canes fam before he leaves, because we have a Canes fam who just had a baby girl yesterday. Orange and Green Blood had a baby girl, and I wanted to say hello to Cohen Hayes Cantrell, who's his 3-year-old. Cohen, you're a big brother now on your little sister, so you got to look out for her, and you got to take care of her, because that's what big brothers do. So I know you're going to be a great big brother, and congratulations to Orange and Green Blood, and to obviously his wife and family. So a new Canes fan. So
Yes,
I'm sorry, guys. I just want to do that shout out, because I don't know how long he's going to be on here, because with a brand new baby, chances are
hands are tied.
there's going to be some stuff to do.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. From Category 5. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
And congratulations. All right. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, just to do, I didn't know how long he was going to be on. That's why I want to make sure get it done.
Fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Before I let Paul go ahead and do his thing, 115 in the chat. Let's go, man. Thank you all. Thank you all so very much. So many questions popping up. I've got a couple of them written down. A couple of them. If we don't get to them now, we definitely will. You know, we don't have the great free time that Big Dog does to go back and comment section thing. You know, that's how you know I always watch you guys' shows. But besides that, man, if we don't get to it, just put it in there again whenever you get an opportunity. Another dollar donation from Joseph Holmes. Thank you all so much for all these donations. But number one thing is bring yourselves, bring your eyes, and share it with the fan. Put it in the Facebook, groups that are there. Put it on Twitter. Let people know that the best Hurricane collab is going on right now. It will be going on for another hour and a half, maybe three, but an hour and a half right now. We're just gonna talk Canes, and this is gonna be good. Because after we do this, we're gonna do some collab, a little bit more free talk, and let everybody go. But I want to respect Paul's time. Go right ahead, boss.
Yeah, what I've seen so far from Coach Diaz in his first offseason going into the season as a Miami Hurricane, man, this is a very unique situation, guys. Coach Diaz isn't coming in here with he has a very talented group. This is a different situation than Mark Richt came into, Randy Shannon. He just stole Daniel's offensive coordinator from Alabama. A great offensive mind who's put tons of quarterbacks in college football and developed them. Done an outstanding job. Did an outstanding job at Alabama. Man, I don't know why my gut is telling me that come August 24th, Miami is going to put on a show against Florida. And maybe because I'm scared personally to go out and say it, be confident because we've been so disappointed in the past. Like last season, for example, we were expected to win the ACC Coastal and challenge Clemson.
Yeah.
The exact opposite happened. Maybe because of the past, I'm timid to get this excited. But when people say 9-3, 10-2, I'm trying to think of 2 losses in this schedule with the amount of talent we have, with the offensive coordinator we have, and with Coach Diaz's defense. I'm trying to think it over in my head, and I can't think of a second loss. I truly do think if Coach Enos and this team is literally believing is what we've seen in the offseason. The practices look different. It's like night and day. It's the new energy around the program. It's a breath of fresh air. Not only the fans are noticing, the players, the alumni. I truly do think we're going to shock the college football world, and we're going to set the tone for this college football season come August 24th, because we are literally the first game besides the one happening in the West Coast. I truly do think we're on to something special, and I think the new Miami is here, and it's going to be scary. Because when things start clicking with Coach Enos, it's going to be really scary, guys. I truly do think that.
And I definitely agree with you, because I know what it's like, to really sit here, and I'm a historian, man. I love to watch, all about the U. I mean, not all about the U. Well, I do like to watch all about the U83. He's hilarious. But the U Part 1, the U Part 2, those type of things, I love to watch that. And I have a playlist on my channel of like biggest wins. And when you sit and look at them, they're all like against unranked UNC, but we haven't beat them consistently, so it's considered a big win. It's, a 30-point deficit, well, a 30-point lead that we had, and then Nebraska comes all the way back, and then we went on a last-minute field goal. When was the last time we really turned on the film and said, that is the U? Mine would have to be Notre Dame 2017, because that was the last time we were on a big stage. The last time that we really hit someone in the mouth. And to be honest with you, I think if Mark Richt was even more aggressive, it could have got even worse.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it like that third quarter, we kind of let them back in the game to a certain extent and then held them off for the fourth quarter. And Paul always talks about this. When are we going to put 50 on a team and say, take it, do something about it? We put our walk-ins and walk-ons, and he'll come in and still run for 100 on y'all. In a conference game, on the road in white and orange. That's the thing. When are we going to go into Norman, Oklahoma in a playoff game? For example, let's say we do a home and home with Oklahoma, and we go in there and kick their behinds. Those type of things is what I can foresee happening under Manny Diaz, because he has this, we want to hit you in the mouth because we've been beating the crap out of each other for 8 weeks.
Mhm.
Now it's finally time for us to beat the mess out of someone else.
Exactly.
And I know what that feels like especially as a lineman. Like, you get tired of running into the same guy every single play. Or, when I played offensive line, you get tired of having to try to hold this guy up, and he beats you one play, and now you're angry and you crack back him on the next play. Those type of things happen, and you get into it. But I rarely have seen our Miami Hurricanes translate being pissed off into actually going out there and doing it on the football field. LSU pregame, we did all this yip yap. Everybody wants to fight. The game starts. Where was all that fight? The only one left was Jeff Thomas and Gerald Willis. Those type of things I'm ready to see when we are going to really want to hit somebody in the mouth because it's a football game. Not because they were talking trash or not because we were about to fight before the game, but because you decided to step on our football field and put on your uniform and think you're going to beat us. That's why we're going to kick y'all behinds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and we have some aggressive coordinators. Blake Baker at La Tech was very, very aggressive. Dan Enos at Arkansas to a certain extent. But him at Michigan State, aggressive. And I know for a fact that Manny Diaz was really blitz happy. And now he's going to be over the whole thing. I can't wait to see it. And I'm actually happy. A part of me used to say I didn't want to have a tough game to start the season. But this is how you shock college football. You go out, somebody that they're preaching as an undefeated team or at least like an SEC favorite. You go at neutral site game, which is basically Orlando is close to the Gainesville, so it's going to be a lot of those guys there. And you go hang 42 on them, and they only have 3. That's how you shock college football, and that's how you turn the U into the U again. So let's do some last statements by everybody. I actually have a question for everybody before we go into Q&A because we're getting close to the season. Who particular, I give you one on offense, one on defense. Who has surprised you from spring ball and training camp up to this point that made you really say, okay, they're turning that corner and they're ready to actually show us something on Saturday evenings and Saturday nights? Junior, go ahead and take it on.
Can number 20 be an option or someone?
Yeah, you better not.
Number 20 can't be an option.
Also,
I can't say number 20.
Number 20, shut off his camera.
Listen, man, I personally, I don't like him on the football field because I still remember Florida State 2017. We were dogging him. He comes on the football field and gives up a dang touchdown. Okay,
First play.
In my skin. But I know from somebody who had to work his behind off to play D1 AA ball, when you never know when the light bulb goes off for somebody.
That's true. That's true.
Do I want to really see him on the field? No, because I know that there's more talented people than him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I would want him a lot closer to the line of scrimmage so that if he messed up, we can corral. Mm-hmm. But him at free safety, and there's nobody else behind him, that kind of scares me.
Yeah.
But I'll let you go ahead with your Junior. Go ahead.
He wasn't gonna say 20.
Nah, I wasn't gonna say 20, but look, man, in all, I always I know people feel a certain way about number 20, man, but hey, if you got a U on the side of your helmet, man, I'm not gonna bash you on here. I'm not gonna, if you do succeed and if you prove to be, I mean, whatever, more power to you, man. It's all love. So just in case you're watching those, you know what I'm saying? It's just in case. But if I had to pick one on offense, I'll be honest, and this is one that not only, I mean, it surprised me to a certain extent because of the injury issues that he's had, but a guy that I've been rooting for years, and it feels like we're starting to see Robert Burns, the Robert Burns that we've all been excited about for years. Now, we've also been hearing that he's had his healthy times here and there, and we just haven't seen it. So I mean, I saw him at practice, and Manny's even been saying it. He said the defense knows when number 22 has the ball. I mean, this this guy's a truck, and he's a truck that runs a 4.4. So
Right.
I think that he could add a completely crazy dynamic to this offense if indeed he is healthy. And frankly, man, he's been there for so long. I think he is ready to contribute as long as he stays healthy. On the defensive side, man, that's tough. Partly to Corey. Partly to Corey Couch has surprised me. Derek Smith has been another one. You know, a lot of people talk about the safety. They talk about Amari Carter, talk about Gervin Hall, and even though he just got there, everybody's talking about Bubba. Nobody talks about Derek Smith as much, and I feel like you should, and we've seen why. So I think we can go 4 deep. But I think back there, I think Derek Smith has been one of them, and to Corey's not backing down, and he's playing up to the competition out there, and he's been making plays. So yeah, for sure.
Well, you're supposed to only name one of them.
I'm sorry, man. I just get excited,
he stole some thunder, didn't he?
I get excited.
No, you good. You good. Big Dog, go right ahead, boss.
My first one's going to be probably the easy one for everybody, and you guys know how much I love the trenches. So it's Zion Nelson on offense. That's been my biggest surprise. And the thing is, guys, okay, him playing opening week against Florida scares me a bit. I'm not going to lie. Okay, you're being a left tackle, getting thrown in there against that type of competition. You're a true freshman. That worries me a little bit. Okay, but if you forget about where his ranking was, because you guys know how I feel about the star ratings, look at his film, and yeah, he was only 240 then. That guy is a dominant, tremendous feet, tremendous balance, has the length of arms, work ethic. Look at the kid comes in here. This is 7 months. In 7 months, he's put on 45 pounds, and it looks great.
Right.
Okay, so he has the work ethic, he has the balance, he has the talent, he has all of this. Now, if you put a 4-star ranking on him, everybody would be on his Johnson. Everybody.
Right.
Okay, but since he came in and he was ranked low, people are like, "Oh man, you're going to start a 2-star against Florida." I guess he ended up getting bumped up to a 3-star. But Zion, listen, maybe he doesn't start against Florida. Maybe they put DJ Scapes there, and then they let Zion start against North Carolina. That's a possibility. But that young man is going to play left tackle this season for the Miami Hurricanes. Fully believe it.
But they just released highlights for this scrimmage. Oh, diggy. But go ahead.
Okay.
What'd you say? They released highlights from the scrimmage?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Awesome.
I told you it was a tip pass. I told you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. But that's my offensive one for sure. On the defensive side, Patchen.
Yeah.
Patchen looking as good as he has.
God.
That's a good choice, man.
Okay, you guys notice that on both sides I picked the line.
Hey, I'm gonna be right with you. Don't worry.
I love the trenches, man. When people follow the ball, I look at the trenches. The Patchen, the fact that people don't understand, if to stay the same body weight and to cut your body fat percentage down substantially is hard. It's hard. If you're a 320 pounder, you could cut your body fat percentage by 5% just by losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maintaining your weight, and that means you were working hard. The fact that he changed his number to 71 to honor his father, I thought was a really cool thing. And listen, he has earned the right to be on the field a lot, even with Gregory Rousseau there at the left end. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see Patchen do more. I mean, we sort of expected stuff from him earlier on,
Right.
kept fighting the injuries. Okay. But then coming on like the way he's come on and gotten ready for his senior year and looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. He looks unblockable at times. And I'm just excited for him. And this is the year he has to show out.
Absolutely. Hey, Paul, before you go, Junior, who was your main defensive guy?
Takori.
Takori was what he's sticking with.
But you brought up a safety. I'm wondering about this safety you brought up. 25, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna really like this highlight tape.
Oh man,
snot.
He dropped it.
Did he? I'll tell you, people are worried about him in coverage. I'm with you. Okay, he's not going to be in coverage ever with Gervin or with Bubba Boldenar. Period.
And see, I think before, and I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I know we did cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Paul, I'm sorry.
That's my fault. I'm the one that started the conversation.
No, you're okay. I'm gonna say this really fast, and I'm gonna let Paul go. But I think that they brought up this striker position not just for specific like depth at striker, but to open up the ability to have 3 safeties on the field.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that they will find a way when we play certain spread teams to have Bubba, Gervin, and Derek Smith on the field at the same time.
Yep.
And I think they'll bump. Now this is me going into real college coach mode, where they'll bump in Finley, take 55 off the field, put 56 at Mike, and have Finley play weak side next to him.
I like that.
And that will allow to where it still looks the same. So you don't know that we switched to a 4-2-5. It looks the same. Everybody can hit, everybody can tackle, everybody can catch the football. So it's not like we switched to a full nickel.
Right.
We just have so much more athleticism on the field. And you could even get fancy and have 55 go play defensive end like he did against North Carolina and get you a sack or 2.
Hey, he rushed the passer really well last year.
He did.
Really well.
That's the best thing he does, in my opinion.
Absolutely. He struggles in coverage. His problem is in coverage. But in terms of getting behind the line of scrimmage and getting tackles for loss or getting sacks, he does a job. He does.
But Paul,
I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
With your surprise, in the spring through fall camp up to this point, both offensive and defensive, brother.
Yeah, believe it or not, Junior said what I was gonna say, and so I got to be creative now. Can you guys hear me better, by the way?
Yeah.
You're good, brother.
My bad, Paul.
No, you're good, man. That's a good thing that we're naming the same players, I think.
Yeah.
Offensively, this is a creative one, but Will Mallory. This guy had 3 receptions last year and a touchdown. Look what he's doing now. Like it's night and day. Credit to our offensive coordinator Darnell for implementing him in creative ways with his offensive mind. And you're going to see a lot of Will Mallory this season. He's definitely progressed. And how about Chigozie and Oruka, guys? I mean, this guy came in. We didn't even really know what to expect from him. He comes in from the Pac-12 from UCLA as a grad transfer, and it's been a smooth transition. I think he's going to have a really successful season. I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's in condition, and he should be an immediate impact player, and especially when Nestor Cabrera went down. We're going to count on him a lot and Pat Bethel. So I'm excited. I really am about Chigozie and Oruka. And there's so many players that have progress in general. We can go on for days about it. And it shows you just what a new offensive coordinator could do,
Yeah.
Good points, man. All of them good points.
A lot of the guys that I would love to have spotlighted are taken, which to me, and just like Paul just said, that's an amazing thing. Because we're finally seeing our players get developed.
Mm-hmm.
There's been talent on this roster for well over a decade and a half. This might be one of the most talented teams as far as star system goes. But as far as you look at the lack of experience on both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and these guys are making plays. What that means is the difference was the coaches, because coaches get paid millions of dollars to do two things: teach and develop. What teaching means is to communicate your job to you in a way that you will understand and execute. The second part, develop,
Perfect.
means I don't care if you're
Oh,
unrated, a 5-star, a 3-star, the #1 left tackle in the country. That means that it's my job to make you an NFL draftee. It's my job to make you a first or second teamer. And that is what I see with Coach Manny Diaz and his staff, is that they want to make these players great regardless of the star system. With that being said, I have to swallow my pride and say, my guy on offense, Tate Martell.
what?
You lying.
No.
You lying.
He did improve a lot from spring to
He
fall.
did.
He did.
He did. No, yeah.
Now,
What
the reason why
happened?
everybody know the wholesome one is 5 till I die. Perry is the guy. But in order to see the best Perry, in order to see the best 15, 18 had to show up. And 18 might have had some floated balls. 18 might be inaccurate. 18 might be forced down our throats by the media. But he still has to go out here and do it. And up until this point, from what I'm seeing, 18 is pushing the rest of them. And he wants this job just like the other two want this job. My question and all of our question is, who needs this job?
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly
Who
said.
can't live, who can't sleep, who can't breathe without being
Right.
a Miami Hurricanes starting quarterback? Whoever it takes that's willing to put it all on the line to be the starter, that's the guy who's going to win. And that, like I said, that's no disrespect to 5 or 15, because if once y'all see this scrimmage highlights, y'all going to see the accuracy in which that I just saw, being able to nickel and dime and then go deep, take a check down, run, all those things. They have highlights for all three quarterbacks doing all three of those things. And that's something we have not seen at the QB position.
Yeah.
You know, I love Ja'Cory Harris, but Ja'Cory would take a deep post than a wide open slant any day.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
I'm a big Brad Kaya fan, but if anybody was in his face, he turned into the bench warmer that he is in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Free agent.
You know, Malik Rozier, I hated him, but I loved him because he proved Mark Richt wrong when Mark Richt said, "You'll never play for me." And he went out and beat Florida State and won 10 games. And I like those type of stories. But then he turned around his senior year and showed us who he really was.
Right.
So now we've had this roller coaster of production at the quarterback position. But now we have 3 quarterbacks that are willing to fight for it. So for me, on offense, the person who I am surprised by and pleasantly surprised by is Tate Martell. Do I think he's going to win? If he does, I'm all 18, you know? That's my guy. But he has shown me a lot. And it takes a lot, especially in today's society, to take all the social media banter, to take all the articles written about you, all the Instagram and Facebook posts talking about how trash you are. People, you know, texting and DMing you saying you suck and you're trash and all that. And then for him to turn around and be the quarterback to take first team reps day one, for him to be consistently listed as the best quarterback in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those type of things, to me, I like to see his progression. Defensively, I mean, I'm gonna have to say John Ford, but I think that's mainly because he's forced to be out there.
Mm.
I want him to realize, if anybody knows John Ford, if John Ford family in here, I love you. But can you let him know that he's 6'6", 289 pounds, and he's supposed to take over games. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
Show me that it's a reason why we took a chance on a 3-star out of Dillon.
Right.
We was his only big boy offer, if we want to be honest. Go out here and show there's a reason why you're the biggest guy on the field. Drive a guard back. Drive a center back. Suplex him. If Kendrick Norton, God bless Kendrick Norton, if Kendrick Norton can do it, at barely 6'1". If Gerald Willis can do it at 6'3", why can't you do it at 6'6"? So those are my two guys. Honorable mention, Jordan Miller. If you go from having a gut like me to having a six-pack, I love you.
Yeah.
It shows that it can be done.
Yeah.
That dude's gonna break weightlifting records at Miami. That's the strongest cane right there. Is Jordan Miller?
But it's not really transitioning to the field, big dog.
Not yet. Yeah, you're right.
Because
He's gonna need him.
at that practice, and I was waiting to see 91 do his thing. And I think it also has to talk about the development of the offensive line, because Ja'Kai Clark has been there for a couple of months, and he was stalemating him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, you could break all the records. I went to college with a whole bunch of people that could bench 500 pounds, squat 2,000 pounds, and they was on the sideline with me.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they couldn't play dead. Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
We weight room warriors, and you get them on the field, they can't play dead.
Exactly.
We've seen them. Yep.
Exactly. But Anton, nice to have you back, man.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
My internet's been out for all those who didn't know, but with that fixed,
everyone
seems to be stable.
Give me one play on offense and one play on defense in which that you have been surprised, either pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised, from end of spring until right now, that has kind of caught your eye in the offseason.
On the defensive side, I gotta start with the secondary. I mean, we knew the D-line was going to be competitive and good, but in the secondary, it's great to see competition. Now, we saw some inability play, like you said, they're flat-footed on times and all that, but interceptions are being made every practice. Someone's catching the ball. This last one was Gervin Hall, hearing he had 2 interceptions, but I don't have any film to back that up. But hearing the fact that I think it's more of an experience of what was left. The guys that went to the draft and it transpiring to the field, and these guys not looking like this is unexperienced secondary, but actually giving a very difficult time to the Miami offense. I can't say one guy specifically, but it'd be one of those. On the offensive side, I would have to say, Peyton has been too quiet. I would say, after post spring, I would say till fall. So I want to see Mallory. Mallory's been consistently just scaring the defense. Like, I mean, he's been snatching his ball all the time, and it's showing that, you know, come season time, we're going to see some crazy, crazy tight end play.
Okay, great. You know, right, we're going to get into Q&A, guys. So if you're in the chat, go ahead and start putting your questions. If you put questions before, please go ahead and retype them in. We've been hovering at 150. It's beautiful. What an amazing experience to have you all here. Thank you all so very much. But if you're here, don't be selfish. Share this to your friends. Send the link via text message. However you want. Let's get as many Canes fans as we can in here, because we're only doing this once a month. And we all have our own channels. We all have our own little collab. But we thought it would be a great idea to bring this together and really, really knock it out of the park. So share this with everybody, and we're going to go question by question and try to read as many as we can. We're going to let everybody get a minute to respond. So try to keep your answers quick, guys, and let's get to the point. So the very first question, Austin Canes, he's always on all of our channels. His question is, who on UF scares you guys? Anton, take it off.
Would be D-line, first of all. The D-line is intriguing to me, and it's scary to me because of our offensive line. I'm scared to see that matchup, but they've been facing this whole time versus Miami's defense in practice, which I would put up our D-line against anybody's in the nation. I'm scared to see the linebacker core as well with that pressure. I guess the front seven for Florida Gators. If we can get past this front seven, I think we'd be able to have success offensively, but it's scary to me on the defensive side more so than the offense. Offense, I guess the wild card is the quarterback position, because I can totally see what everyone thinks is Felipe Frank starting and us not being prepared for the other QB to start. It doesn't scare me to the point where I'm like, we won't be like, okay. It'll be a big halftime adjustment, though, if we see something completely different, because right now we're watching film for a Felipe Franks offense. We don't know what a non-Felipe Franks offense could look like. And, Florida knows how to do offensive plays, and they have playmakers all over the field, and both the running back room and the wide receivers, because they can all have hands that catch that I've seen. They have athletes that are able to, not just run the ball and that's it. They're able to catch it as well. So if they put a playmaker other than Franks to spread the ball around even more, that I believe will possibly give headaches. But I think Manny Diaz will be able to make second halftime adjustments for that. But that's something that I think is intriguing and scary that Florida Gators may come up with and do.
Okay, Paul.
It's got to be first off LaMichael Perrine. When the pass game isn't flowing, it's not moving the ball, your run game's going to move the offense. This is a very good running back. He can win you a football game. He's not like Dalvin Cook, but he's very good. He will play in the NFL, and they have a lot of playmakers in that wide receiver core. Darius Toney, Van Jefferson, and Trayvon Grimes, just to name a few off the top of my head. This is a very strong wide receiver group that can make an average quarterback look very good. And how about TJ Henderson, local kid from Miami Christopher Columbus Senior High School? They're saying he's going to be a first-round pick. He committed to Miami for a little while, and then decommitted towards the end of signing, towards near signing day. Very good player as well. They have a solid defense, but if we can shut down Perrine and their wide receiver core, we should be all right. But those two groups scare me the most.
Big Dog.
Grimes scares me the most. The fact that, our best corner is Trajan, and if Trajan has an Achilles heel, it's big, tall receivers. Grimes scares me because of he can at least burn our best corner right now, which is Trajan, and that's scary from that standpoint. He has an 8-inch height advantage over Trajan, and if you guys remember, that's been the few times that Trajan's given up plays, it's usually been a taller receivers. Okay, then again, there's not that many shorter receivers. But Grimes, basically what Paul was saying, their whole receiving core, you got to give the devil its due. Tony is talented. You look what he does with jet sweeps. Okay, usually they run the jet sweep with Tony a couple of times a game on average. He's pretty electric if he gets the ball in space. Now, the one good thing is I have a lot of faith on our defense, and I think our offense can take advantage of their linebackers and safety. But those are the guys that scare me.
Yeah.
Junior.
Can I be honest, man? Like, I don't want to sound like the cocky Kane fan, but I'm not scared of Florida.
Thank you.
I'm not.
Somebody said it. Somebody said it.
I'm truthfully speaking, I'm not like trying to be a cocky Kane fan, or my Kane, shades aren't on, or my blockers or whatever. Hey, I'm not scared of Florida, like in any position group. I've seen Frank's is like running ability. I think Florida is going to try to be tricky with us at times. Our linebackers and need to stay disciplined, I think, when it comes to that. But I think they have a solid secondary. Big Dog, you made a great point. I don't think Grimes could burn Bandy, but I understand what you mean in terms of his height and being able to overpower Bandy, maybe. But I'm not scared, man. I'm not scared of Florida. I honestly, I just think like, from top to bottom, now that we're hopefully gonna have everything in order, especially when it comes to the offensive side of the football, man. Florida doesn't scare me, and frankly, there's the only team that I can honestly say that scares me is that team that we're gonna be playing in Charlotte for the ACC championship. That's about it. Florida doesn't scare me. There's nobody on our schedule. The only team that I could be like, Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not saying like we're gonna blow Florida completely out of the water, 55-10, even though, I would love that, but I, I, I'm not scared of Florida anywhere. And frankly, I think our offense is gonna be in a good position to exploit them, especially their linebackers and deep when it comes to their safeties. And I think our running game is going to be on point, and I just don't. Florida doesn't scare me. I think Clemson's the one that once you win the Coastal, and then we play for the ACC championship. I think Clemson's the one that I could probably talk about some more talking points that they might scare me in certain aspects, but the Gators don't. I'm sorry, man, they don't.
You listen. You don't have to apologize to me. Okay, I got a Warriors mentality. Okay, nobody on this schedule, especially ACC Coastal. Jesus Christ, they never scare me. The only team that my heart beats, it skips every other, is Florida State, because
The rivalry.
it's something about that rivalry to where you saw we were a 6-16. They go to the national championship, they go to the playoffs and they beat us by 4 points. So you never really know when it comes to that rivalry. But we own the Gators. It's a thing. Miami does not lose to Florida, and I think it's because they believe that they're just so much better than us. Like they just feel like they're better than us. And when people feel like they're better than you, then they don't come out prepared. They don't come out focused. They don't come out ready to really fight, because they feel like even a dude that was on live, the tight end that doesn't even play, they asked him a question on live. What y'all gonna do to the Canes first week? And him and the dude they started laughing. Like they don't see us. They don't respect us. And you know what you do to people who don't respect you? You knock their teeth down their throat. And that's what makes them respect you. And if they want to fight in the parking lot, I'll be there. Come find me. Tag me in. That's our mentality that I think Manny Diaz is going to implement into these guys. If Mark Richt was the head coach, I would be very scared, because I would foresee him. And I hate when people align Christianity with being soft. But you got a guy like this who goes out there and lives up to that stigma. Like, the only time I ever seen him get fired up was when we barely beat Georgia Tech on a field goal, and he got really hype on national TV. Like, that's the only time I ever seen him be aggressive. And even Notre Dame, to a certain extent, when he threw it up to Sorry Cager on 4th and 18 and he caught the ball. That's 2 times in a guy that coached here 3 seasons. That's not good. We have coaches, we have a coordinator, and we have players. And for the very first time, Manny Diaz is going to let our players play like Miami boys. That's the big difference. Al Golden tried to make us Penn State South. Randy Shannon couldn't find an offensive coordinator, but his defense was hellified. Mark Richt, and I like I say, I'm a big Christian myself, but Mark Richt, to me, cared more about saving souls than playing football. And I know that, and honestly, saving souls is way more important. But when it comes to wartime, it comes to wartime. And I don't think he had that mentality to where if you have to, you cut your opponent's head off. It's not our fault that I put up 81 points. It's your job to stop me. And I think Manny has that mentality. So just like you said, nobody on Florida scares me. Even if they play their best game, if we come out and play dog tenacious football, I don't see it being close.
100%.
But that's if we come out and play dog tenacity. If we come out and play somewhat, because Dan Enos doesn't know how the offense looks just yet, or a particular quarterback wins the job and he just goes out in nickels and dimes and tries to win, and then Florida comes out ready to put up 45 points, it could get ugly for us too. If I'm being bluntly honest, because a pick 6 or 2 here and it could change the game.
Right.
184 people in the chat.
Wow. That's awesome, guys. Thank you, guys. Oh, by the way, since we do have everybody in here, and I know we share a lot of the guys, I wrote down the replies to all the comments, and YouTube obliterated my post. So I said on there that we were gonna film a podcast answering all those outstanding questions that we didn't answer in the last live chat, but we didn't get a chance to film it yesterday. We're filming it tomorrow, and you guys will see it on Wednesday morning. So you'll have the answers to all those outstanding questions in our on our YouTube channel on Wednesday morning. Do you guys mind if I just piggyback what Wholesome was just talking about for like 1 minute? Because it's really important. This is really, really important. Junior can tell you, okay, I defended the hire. I defended Rick when we had our first 4-game losing streak. Here's the problem that I have. And so, guys, I'm not a Rick basher, and Junior can tell you I never was. Last season, we're coming off a 10-3 year. We start off the season ranked number 8, and you don't have a plan B for a punter who had the yips the year before.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Manny Diaz has a sense of urgency that Mark Richt never had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If Zach Fiegels punted, and again, I hope the young man gets help. I hope he gets over the mental block that he has because he is talented. But if Manny Diaz is the head coach, Zach Fiegels doesn't punt last year.
Right. Or
okay,
after the LSU game, he wasn't going back out there.
There you go. That's the problem that I have with Mark Richt. When people talk about it, and you're right, it's maybe it's that whole good guy persona of saving souls. But what I don't understand and what I didn't forgive is the lack of a sense of urgency when you have talent. Okay. It was like we would lose a game and Rick would act like, okay, that happens. I'm sorry. You're not a champ. You're not ever going to be a championship team when you accept losing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. You're not going to be a championship player. You're not going to be anything if you accept losing. Losing should, man. I'm an old man. I could tell you specific instances 40 years ago in games that happened that we lost. Okay, as a kid, I couldn't sleep if we lost a game. And what I saw with Mark Richt was, oh, okay, we lost. Let's play the next one. And with Manny, you're not seeing that. With Manny, you're seeing even in practice a sense of urgency that Mark Richt didn't have in games. The musical chairs with the quarterbacks, not sticking with one. You're not happy with either one. You don't simplify the offense and throw Jaron in there. Oh no, we'll just keep doing the same thing we're doing and expect different results. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be coaching at a high level.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Now, since I'm going to show respect to Anton and his channel. This is his channel as of right, and this is his channel that we're on right now.
Yes.
Anton, how do you feel about us having an uncut session for the last hour?
Oh, have at it, please.
Okay, because I'm starting to feel the gist of people wanting to cut up, but hey, we got almost 200 people in here. They want to see the uncut version. So for the next 30 to 40 minutes, y'all will get uncut. If you hear, hopefully you're an adult or maybe at least in high school, because we will not be holding back the language. This is the uncut version of the show. This is truly category 5 right now.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know if Hurricane Andrew held back any swings. Okay. Right now, you're in the middle of Hurricane YouTube right now on category 5. So if you hear a curse word or two slip out of somebody's mouth, just go ahead and keep on listening. Praise the Lord. First of all, the next question, Joseph Holmes. Are y'all going to talk about Justin Flo? So I'm guessing he wants to get everyone's opinion on us making his top 4. Do you all feel as though the Miami Hurricanes have a chance in hell in bringing in the number 1 inside linebacker for only the 3rd time in school history? One of them was Willie Wright. The second one was Shaquille Quarterman, who hasn't lived up to that expectation, if you ask me. And number 3 could be Justin Flo. Paul, you've been sitting there with the sad face. Take off, boss.
The sad face is because in recruiting, as we've seen in the past, it really doesn't matter until everything is signed in paper. So he can have us in the top 4. He can have us in the top 2. But like, for example, Ricky Williams, he was all pro while he was at Texas. He gets on stage and he's like, shit, I'm returning for my senior year. Everything can change in a snap. We don't know. We could lose 2 games and he's not interested anymore. We don't know what's going on in his mind. So it's going to be a battle. And if we want Justin Flo, we got to put on a show. Because he doesn't want to play for a 9-3 football team. He wants to play for a team that's contending for a national title while he's at Miami. And it's a great sign that USC is in his top 4 because I thought he was going to go there. But I think we're up against Clemson and Oregon as well.
And UGA.
Yeah, Clemson, Georgia, Oregon.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to fight. We got to put on a show this season, okay? Because those are all contenders for the college football playoffs. That means he views us as a possible contender as well. Hey, new Miami, let's get it done. But everything, nothing's confirmed until literally it's signed on paper because anything can change. It's crazy recruiting.
Anton, hit us with an answer.
Oh man, I think it's simple. I really do. If Richt was here, he would not be on our top 4 at all. Okay, it's the new Miami brand that he is putting Miami on there. It's the new Miami, not Miami that he's signing to. And the only reason he's not signing dotted lines because he loves Miami. I mean, for all that we saw, it's the culture, the brand, the atmosphere, the lifestyle. It's all him. But he wants to make sure the spotlight is there. I mean, he's a number 1 linebacker for a reason. The spotlight better be there so they see him, which helps the draft stock and such. And that's what he enjoys. He can go anywhere. Everybody's wants him. And basically what he's waiting for is the end of the season results. Prove to him that this new Miami is something people want. This is a product that's real on actuality on the field. It hasn't been yet. And until we do that, I mean, we're not going to be up there with Clemson, Oregon, UJ. Like he's mentioned, Paul, those are playoff contenders. That could easily be the top 4 in the playoffs, but it's not. So that's my thought on that.
Big Dog.
I'm very excited. Remember, he said that when everybody had him pegged going to USC, he said it was a team on the East Coast, and it's not who you think.
Right.
Okay? That, to me, seems to say that's probably us.
Yeah.
Okay? Because people would guess Clemson, obviously, defending national champion. People will guess Georgia, played in the championship game 2 years ago, knocked on the door last year. Right? Oregon is a surprise, but they're on the West Coast, so obviously it wasn't them. I think that's us. But I think what Anton said is 100%. And I think Paul said the same thing. If we go 11-1 or 12-0, he's ours. I believe that. I believe that even if we lose a close game to Clemson, I think he's still ours. And don't sell. I'm not saying this is the end all and be all because we've seen brothers not choose to be together. The fact that Jonathan, we were like one of the first big schools that pursued him. He came down for Paradise Camp and loved it. That has some pull, guys. You know, who doesn't want to play with your brother?
Especially same position.
Exactly. Okay. And I mean, I think we have now, does that mean, do I think it's signed, sealed, and delivered? No, obviously not. And we have to have a big year. So
yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, man. I was gonna mention his brother as well. His brother loved Paradise Camp. Couldn't stop boasting about it on Twitter and posting pictures. So that was promising to see. You could take that with a grain of salt, or I mean, you could put as much importance on that as you want. But I mean, you guys have all pretty much nailed down those points. You know, very good. You got to win, man. You got to win. I think the fact that if we win,
200.
the fact that
200.
we hit 200. Yeah.
203 in the
Hell
chat.
yeah,
Let's
baby.
Yo.
Thank
Let's
you, fam.
go.
oh, baby,
Family is the best you family.
The you, man.
that's crazy, man.
The you
Awesome.
family. Hey, guys, y'all in here, keep sharing it. Keep sending it to people. We're answering as many questions as we can. Just over an hour and 14 minutes with 200 people. Let's break 300. Let's break
Oh,
a
let's
record.
do it. Let's do it.
If you have a Kane family, a brother, a sister, a cousin that you know loves this you even more than you do, send them a message and have them come here, and we're answering all the questions straight to the bottom, unless we've already answered it something similar to it. Because it's like 8 Justin Flow questions in here. I can't wait to get after this. But go ahead, continue.
Nah, so yeah, man. Like when people say, "Oh, do you really think that we have a chance at Justin Flow?" Why not? Why not? I mean, if we expect the U to return to greatness, you know, to the standards of being the U. I mean, not being baby you, not being maybe you. No. Being the you, the standard of greatness that we all know. Why not? I mean, there's not a reason why we shouldn't be able to get any top talent in the country, especially, you know, Justin Flow. Like Big Dog said, he was talking about a team on the East Coast, and I think, frankly, we were that team. I mean, we said it back then when he first said it, that we thought we were that team, and he proved it in his top 4. What really surprised me, though, was, I mean, if you saw all the crystal balls early on,
Clemson.
USC.
Already on it. USC. I'm
it
sorry.
was all USC, like all USC. So then when I saw that top 4, I was very confident that we were going to make the top 4. But the fact that USC didn't make the top 4, I was like,
That's surprising.
whoa, like that's crazy. So you can't always go by these crystal balls all the time. But I mean, we got to win. We got to win. I think the point I was trying to get at was no Shaq, no McLeod, no Pigney next year.
Sir.
They're not coming back. So not only will, you know, winning should be able to give us a great chance, but the fact that we're gonna have a lot of room in that linebacker room, no pun intended, for Justin Flow to come in immediately and make an impact, I think could weigh heavy on his decision to ultimately choose Miami, to be honest. So I think we do have a good shot.
I think we have more than a shot. I think we lead. And I think he's just waiting on it to be different than it has been for the last 15 years. Right. And he's waiting to see if TNM actually means any goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's waiting to see if all this Twitter hype, all this transfer portal all this Miami could be back talk, if it's worth anything. He knows he can walk in right now and compete for an opportunity to start. And that's the stuff that I like. Like, I listen to his interviews. And he says, I don't want to go somewhere where they hand it to me. I want to go somewhere and earn my spot. But you know what really makes me feel a lot better about the future? It's no Florida State in there.
Mm-hmm.
How many years did we see out-of-state, in-state, inter-region, out-of-region players consistently have rivalry teams like Florida and Florida State in their top 4, top 5, and Miami was nowhere to be seen. And we were the ones kissing his kids behind more than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That was the issue. No one saw success in the future. But right now, we're making top 10 and top 5 for 5-star recruits, like we should be doing.
And 5-star recruits that are way the hell away from us. In California and Vegas.
And Texas. And things like that.
Perfect. That's right.
And that's the thing. I am 100% Dade County dogs. But if those kids don't want to buy in, if you want to keep treating us like crap, don't worry about it. This U carries weight nationally, worldwide. If you want to keep treating us like a second-rate program because we offered you first, and then now everybody else comes and you want to kick us to the side like the sidekick that you don't answer our text messages anymore, don't treat us like that. Because I promise you what, the California kids that come down here and show out, the Vegas kids that come out here and show out, and whether you're on this train or not, TNM means something. And it's going to mean something nationally. And it's going to mean something this season. I'm not giving Manny Diaz 2-3 years. And Manny Diaz isn't even giving Manny Diaz 2-3 years. He wants to win now. And that's the one thing that I love about him, that I've seen the difference between all the other coaches. Randy Shannon said, give him 2-3 seasons, a couple recruiting classes. Al Golden said, we have to rebuild, which was true at that point for him. Mark Richt said, when 2018 recruits become juniors and seniors, will be a great squad. Manny Diaz said, we're going to win right goddamn now. And that's what I want to see. We're not
Yep.
gonna wait to the third, fourth quarter to kick people in the face. If we want
Exactly.
to do a play action bomb first play of the game, we goddamn doing it. And if you can't stop it, it's your fault. So
There you
the
go.
second question that we're gonna get to is let's talk this other 5-star guy, Darnell Washington. What's your viewpoints on us with him? Keep it short because we got like 50 other questions to come through here, guys.
Hey, you want me to start it off?
Let's go with Big Dog. Big Dog, you haven't
Yeah.
gone first yet. Go ahead.
Listen, I think our history of tight end U goes without saying, and
Mhm.
this young man is fully aware of it. He's talked about it already, about all the players that we put in the league and how our tight ends have been dominant in the NFL. He's seen that. I'm a little concerned with a tight end that big because I mean 6 foot. He's all of 6'8". That's not an exaggeration. You know, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned in terms of durability with a tight end that's that tall. Okay, I'm going to go way back. There was a tight end with the Kansas City Chiefs in the late 60s, early 70s, was named Morris Stroud, and he was 6'10" and could run like a deer. Never developed because it's – I mean, you can't be too tall for that position. I don't think he's there yet, but I don't know if he's done growing because,
That
I mean,
might be too tall for football, period, you know?
yeah, I mean, he's getting up there. It's getting up there.
And even that guy, what's the safety, Williams? Like, you guys even alluded to it on y'all channel. Like,
Yeah.
he was
He's 6'5" already.
when we first offered him. 6'5" right now, still claiming that he's only going to a school that allows him to play safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still growing, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and he could end up
I mean,
6'6",
if him
6'7".
and Garvin stood next to each other, you'd be like, oh, yeah, they both play DN. No, one plays freaking safety.
Yeah. That's the thing. I do have some concerns about him living up to that billing because of that height. A lot of times what happens, we saw Eric Winston, they move guys like that over to tackle, you know, and then you take advantage of that athleticism and he make one hell of a tackle. So I'm not as excited for Washington, but I definitely think we're in play for Washington. Same thing. If we have the season we expect to have, I think we could have.
Anton, take off.
I agree with everything Big Dog said except for one thing. I think the expectation for his season production is a little lower for him than Flo. Reason being tight end U. And if you look at our draft, what it does to the tight end position, he knows like these guys are going to college. Yeah, they want to have fun and all that, but they want to get the draft stock up. Our linebacker position is different for Miami as tight end position. But you look at Chris Herndon, you know, you look at Njoku, right? And you look at the guys right now, Brevin Jordan and Will Mallory to come. And that's not even touch on Hodges and all that. And then you talk about the alum, you talk about the coaching staff at the tight end position. I think if we win even 9 games this season with some disappointing loss, we'd still be in a very serious picture for him. Now, after talking his physique and athleticism, man, if he's going to be on our roster, whether he starts or not, you know, it doesn't have the, you know, his health because he's too tall or something like that, he's going to make any tight end better on that roster. Like, that guy is a monster. And if you have to go in a tight end position group and say, hey, I have better hands than him, you know, I could do more plays, and that's going to make your defense better. I would love to see him as a Miami Hurricane. And without a question, I think everyone does. But I think the only thing that's slightly different, Bill Lum, and after Paradise Camp, I mean, his demeanor seemed different. He saw that this is tight end U is a real deal thing. We're definitely in this top 3, I think, in serious contention, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Quick fact before we go on to Junior and Paul. I don't know if you all know this, but every starting tight end dating back to 2009 for the Miami Hurricanes is on an NFL active roster right now.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Jimmy Graham, still on the NFL active roster.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Clyde Walker, still on the NFL active roster. David Njoku, Christopher Herndon. And you know we got 2 coming right after them. And then you also got to think about 15 years ago with Greg Olsen, and he's still in the NFL. He's still a top 8 tight end, and you know, even though he's in his mid-30s. You know, if Shockey didn't have all those injuries, I think he would have had a 15-plus career also. He was just a dog. Like, he was a beast. But that's just a fact for those who are watching and wondering why we say we're tight end you. If you come here and you start, for some reason, I don't understand it, but I love to see it. But for some reason, Miami just knows how to use their tight ends.
Mhm.
And the NFL loves them. And then they go to the NFL and do the exact same thing.
Mhm.
You know, unlike, Clyde Walford is one who still trying to catch his feet under him. But I think he has to go to a pure passing team because he's not an H-back. He's not really an inline tight end because his run blocking sucks. He's more of a slot guy.
He's a tweener. He's definitely a tweener.
He's more of like pure receiving.
Yeah.
But David Njoku is at least suffice in the run game. Christopher Herndon is suffice in the run game. Greg Olsen's going to pancake you. And who can cover Jimmy Graham nowadays? But just another little tidbit. You know what used to make the University of Miami great? Being able to have harder practices than games.
Yep.
Mhm.
100%.
What used to make us the hardest team to play every Saturday was the fact that we had Justin Floyd at linebacker, James Williams at strong safety, and in order to make them two better, Darnell Washington had to play against them in practice.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what made the University of Miami great, was the fact that Green Tree practice field, and now for us, the Carroll Sulphur. And, Big Dog, hopefully one day when I'm in your seat, I can talk about how, to my grandkids, about how I remember watching when we just built the Carroll Sulphur, when we were struggling, and now we're at 10, 12 national championships. Hopefully we can creep to that, over the next 50 years or so. But
100%.
Paul, go ahead and give your opinion on tight end Darnell Washington, please.
Yeah, just to touch up on what you said about tight end U, usually, schools like USC, for example, it's quarterback U because the prototypical quarterback comes from California. The Big Ten is, has tons of offensive linemen because it comes from in that area. South Florida doesn't produce a lot of tight ends. Now, Miami's NFL U because of all the talent in South Florida and skill positions. And all those names that you just mentioned, Holson, Jimmy Graham was playing college basketball for us. Chris Herndon was a 3-star recruit that Mark Richt didn't offer. David Njoku was a 3-star recruit from New Jersey. Clyde Walford, is he from a monster, I think?
He's from like northern Florida, but he's a Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from that area, I think, that general area.
Okay. But he wasn't even highly rated either. It's not like we're bringing in the 5-star recruits. We just, for some reason, developed them. And listen, it's pretty simple, Darnell Washington, if you ever see this. We just did our case. Every time Miami has a tight end starting, they start in the NFL. Don't be stubborn, man. It's simple. Really.
And by the way, Darnell, Greg Olsen, he was a fight. He was that guy. He was the guy that was #1 tight end in the country.
But he transferred from Notre Dame.
Right.
Not like we went out. But it's like we just attract them like mosquitoes. Right. Crazy.
Yep. No, we use them right. That's the thing. And we prepare them for the league.
Yeah.
Right. And another thing, Junior, have you had a chance to go yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
I was just gonna say, I think the fact that you guys might laugh at this, but I think the fact that Darnell actually dropped a little bit in the rankings, I think is a good sign for Miami.
Yeah,
frankly. I mean, 247, their ranking, they have him as a 4-star now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure. They have him as a 4-star. They dropped him down. He's still like a composite. His composite ranking, he's still a 5-star. But 247's ranking, they actually got him as a 4-star now. So, I mean, I know I say it jokingly, only a little bit.
Yeah.
With the whole him dropping in the rankings.
It's because they think he's a Miami lean.
Because he might be, yeah. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I loved what I saw with Tyler Van Dyke and him in particular at Paradise Camp, and the fact that Van Dyke is coming. They had a rapport when it came to Paradise Camp, but I think it went further than that. And I think they went ahead and exchanged numbers, and they've been talking, and I think we saw them together at they were next to each other at the opening finals. At the opening finals as well. So it seems like there's something there with Van Dyke and Darnell brewing, and it's been brewing. So I think that's something that looks promising for the U, to be honest with you. I'm excited, man. He's a heck of a player. And Wholesome, you said it, man. I mean, competition competition. A lot of these guys want that competition. They don't want things to be handed to them. The fact that we catapult these tight ends to the NFL, and not just that we catapult them to the NFL, but the fact that they have, you know, success in the NFL. I think is very promising for these kids, you know. So I think we have a good shot, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens.
And another thing, you know, like I said, this is the uncut version. I'm waiting on everybody else to realize this is uncut. I'm the only one cutting up right now. But I want y'all to come out your shell. Paul, I know you could cut up. I don't know why you acted like that. We're in front of company. Cut up. First of all, listen, Mr. Washington, Mr. Flo, you could go anywhere in the country and be just a guy. You could be just a number and a name on the back of your jersey. You come to the University of Miami, and this isn't a sale. This isn't something that isn't factual. When you come here, we give you results to go to the NFL and do the same thing, if not better. Olivier Vernon, 3-star recruit, still in the league 10 years later. We do a lot better for some unapparent reason with people who aren't even highly sought after. Most of our 4- and 5-star guys that come here, we really don't do too well with them. It's the guys that have to come and prove themselves. You guys are 5-star players. The Miami Hurricanes want you. You have mutual interest in the Miami Hurricanes. Step forth and let us show the ACC that it's not just Clemson in this conference. Let us show the nation that when you come to Hard Rock Stadium or you put Miami on your schedule, it's not going to be easy coming. You come here, you're going to be on national TV more than 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. Even when we play sorry UNC, we're on national TV on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know? And it's to the point where I understand that we look at these other logos. We look at Oklahoma. If Oklahoma put up all those numbers and go in the 7th round, nobody hears from you year 2 or 3 in the NFL.
That's right.
You go up the road to Florida State, 5-star recruit, everybody claps and pats you on the back on National Signing Day. 2, 3 years later, nobody hears from you. You get drafted in the 6th, 7th round, got the league. You come to the University of Miami, David Njoku had one good season and went 1st round. And he's the 2nd option. Well, now he's 3rd with Odell and Juice on the same team. He's the 2nd or 3rd option or maybe even a playoff team in the National Football League. Christopher Herndon goes 4th round. 4th round. With less than 60 career receptions and was rated as high as the best rookie tight end in the NFL at the end of the season, according to Pro Football Focus.
Yep.
These are
he was Sam Darnold's go-to guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that you can look up yourself if you have any questions, Canes fans, that's in here. You know, I know all the people that are here, including Anton, who had to step out really fast. We make sure that we have a lot of research before we open up our mouths. But for some reason, people think it's okay to just disrespect Miami and treat Miami like we're FIU. No offense to Butch Davis at FIU.
Right.
Yeah.
But this U carries weight.
It
and
does.
if you throw it up on February 5th, 2020, you're coming to an institution that's not only going to put you in the best position for college football, but it's going to put you in the best position for 40 years of your life with an opportunity to come back and get your degree for free all the way up into your master's, for an opportunity to play in Hard Rock Stadium and play in big-time games and beat on Clemson, who's right now kissing your behind. That's my last soliloquy on that.
Hey, one more thing to add when it comes to Darnell. He's from Vegas. And if there's a place in particular that we did well, especially when it came to the transfer portal, it was Vegas. So we got Brevin recruited, because Brevin has I think if it's not for Brevin, I don't think Tate comes here, frankly. And Brevin has proved to be a heck of a recruiter. So I think that's something to also, I want just to throw that in there, that Darnell Washington is from Vegas, and we've had success in Vegas, and he's from completely other side of the country, man. We have a legitimate shot at these kids, not just in our backyard, but across the country. So the fact that Manny is throwing that wide net out there, you know, if we snag them, we snag them, and if we don't, we don't. But I think the fact that we're in the discussion of these top recruits that are not even from from Florida and are from California, from Vegas, I think that's big when it comes to the message that Manny's trying to put out there with this new Miami.
It matters. These kids pay attention to that. And when they
Yeah.
see a player of Justin Flo's level and we're in his top 4, just that carries
Speaks
juice for us
dividends.
recruiting.
Yeah, 100%.
And then not only, and just to piggyback off what you said, Big Dog, not only being in his top 4, but being an actual contribution. You get what I'm saying? Like he really, for a long time, I thought we were out of the circle because he wasn't retweeting our stuff. He wasn't favoring our stuff on Twitter. I kind of fell into that. I usually don't, but I fell into that mindset because
I got you. I understand.
Yeah, like this guy really doesn't care about us, man. We just gonna chalk it up and let's put all our effort into somebody else. But you know what pisses me off? A guy like Justin Flo, all the way in California, could get us, but Darnell Harris doesn't even put us in his top 5.
Yeah, and Texas A&M? Are you serious?
Texas A&M, Auburn? Are you kidding me?
Hey,
and for the longest, he said Clemson was a lean, and he pulls Clemson out of his top 5.
Yeah, yeah, and now the crystal ball's got 247 has him going to Texas A&M.
But I'll tell you guys this:
a whole bunch of crystal balls have come in for him.
I don't want him
going to Auburn. I think he wants to start immediately.
I don't want him. I don't want him, man.
I know. I'm good. I'm good. See ya.
If you're not,
I'm good.
You're not all about this. You know, I've said it to the big dog. You've heard me, numerous times. Hey, if you're indecisive and you commit, and I understand guys are gonna commit. Paul made a great point, man. Until you sign on that dotted line, a lot of things could happen. But I mean,
it still could happen with Darnell too. Until he signs on the dotted line, nothing matters.
It could, but
how would y'all feel on National Signing Day if he throw it to you and pick Miami?
I mean,
from what I see, he's a ride the wave type of guy. So what that means is, let's say we go out and go 12-1. Our only loss is to Clemson. We win a big time bowl game, undefeated season, lose to Clemson, win a bowl game. What would that be? 13-1 technically? No, 12-1 because we lost to Clemson.
Right.
And that's when we would have to hold off on people. You go 12-1, Justin Flo, Darnell, Washington. It's gonna be scary. The amount of people that would commit to Miami. Now this is. I don't think that it's hypothetical because I think this can actually happen. Some people might say I'm crazy, especially George in the chat right now. But I can really see Miami doing that. And then I could also see guys like Darnell Washington, not Darnell Washington, but I can see Darnell Harris trying to jump back on the bandwagon.
And James Williams. And frankly, James Williams too.
Yeah, but by that time,
but he's a 2021 though. But
right,
still,
by that time it might be too late. Frankly,
Holsom brought up a point when he said about the South Florida kids, and if they want to play games, that man, all you need to do is a couple of times, first have success on the field, and a couple of times say to somebody, "Nah, that's all right, we're good." Okay, somebody that's highly ranked. You do that a couple of times and watch the diva attitude start leaving some of these South Florida kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't you think that they have a right to view that way? In my opinion, I think they have a right because it was our fault for hiring guys that didn't understand South Florida.
Yeah.
True.
It was our fault for bringing in Al Golden to clean up a program but horribly recruit.
Yeah.
It was our fault that we brought in Mark Richt and he overlooked, and people don't even realize this. He would go, and I understand that most people think this is the right way to do things, but in my opinion, it's the reverse. And this is Mark Richt's viewpoint, guys, for you all to understand. Offer the big time guys, give all your effort to the big time 4 and 5 star guys, and when they leave you, now you go after the 3-star guys. My opinion would be reversed. Go after the young dogs at the beginning, meaning those 3-star guys. Give them that offer. Have them commit. Have them in your program just in case the 5-star spits in your face. I'll show you an example. Larry Hope went to American Senior High School with me. had a Miami offer. He had like Nebraska, Buffalo. He had like little stuff. He went to the outgoing camp, got that offer, committed on spot, signed with Miami, came to spring camp. But guess what happened? While his career was derailed, 5-star Tracy Howard decided to pick Miami.
Yeah.
And it killed his confidence. Coaches forgot all about him. He ended up going to Akron. And that's somebody I know, and I spoke to him about it. He was deeply hurt about the situation, but it happens. And where Miami would have been if we didn't even offer that 3-star guy who was rising up the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the thing.
What happened under Mark Richt. He would put, Tyson Campbell, who's supposed to be a Miami Hurricane, and slid on us. Job, who's supposed to be a Miami Hurricane, and slid on us. But that season, he had a couple backup plans. But for some reason, 2019 recruiting, he had no backup plans and basically just told all the kids, like, you could visit if you want to.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, listen, recruiting is a cutthroat business.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. I know it's simplified, okay? And I don't mean this, but it's really true. Randy Shannon and Mark Richt put being good Christian men above winning.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And
Manny Diaz is Christian. He doesn't put anything above winning. So go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
One thing I wanted to mention, guys, is this whole thing about South Florida recruiting where Miami's been lacking. This goes back to Larry Coker, guys. Okay? Zach Smith, who does Menace to Society podcast, said that when Urban Meyer got the University of Florida head coaching job, he would love recruiting against Bobby Bowden and Larry Coker. Old men who could care less about recruiting. It wasn't even as mainstream as it is now. Not even close. And Urban Meyer just came in and just took over. Nick Saban came in, took over. Jimbo Fisher, same thing. Developing these connections with high school coaches and players and their family members, and they go through the grapevine. It's like, oh, you got to play for this guy, man. I had this guy come here, and he did great. That's where Miami missed out. I truly believe it all started with Larry Coker and just went downhill. Randy Shannon ignited a fire, got it going, but it is
with
what
the
it is.
Northwestern class and stuff. Yeah. But Wholesome, that's exactly what you said. Is exactly what Manny's done this season. We got 23 commits. Okay, some a lot of some 4-stars, a lot of those borderline guys that have high ceilings, and now we're in there with the big fish. But we already got our pick of the litter out of that 3-4-star category of, hey, he's thinking Georgia offered, but Miami got him committed. Those type of guys, and then you go after the big fish.
Yeah.
That's, you said it perfectly, and that's exactly what Manny Diaz is doing in 2020.
Romello Heights a good example, man. And sometimes,
there you go.
We're getting some of these kids early, and then you're starting to see the Georgias and the Bamas, and
they're sweating them hard.
They're
SEC is sweating them hard,
especially Romello Heights, man. But yeah, I think it's good to just jump in there, get your foot in the door, and make these offers, man. Get
and don't play games.
Yeah, don't play no games. 100%.
Jonathan Dennis wasn't shown love because Manny was not playing.
Usually, I don't even like responding to it. But Sean Taylor in the comments said, "I'm overhyping Dade County. I don't know where you from. I don't know what type of football knowledge you got going on, boss man. But Dade County produced the most NFL players in the NFL right now. Okay, from that area, from the 305. There's no way you can say that I'm overhyping Dade County. They had the most first-round draft picks this year. You from Orange County? Oh, okay. Congratulations. We're proud of you. Okay, great job, guy. Anyway, now let's also have this conversation because recruiting is one thing, developing is one thing, but let's really, really talk about what's been going on this offseason. When you look at our team, because I know that's what the 200 people who are in the chat want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the past. They really don't want to talk about the future. They want to talk about what's going on right now with our players. I'm going to start this off by saying this is the most happy I have been with player development in my life. To see a guy like, and you know, we've already got on Paul a lot about this, but to see a guy like Trajan Bandy, 5'9" corner, out there, you know, he has what, 1 or 2 plays you could point to and say it was bad. But a 5'9" corner from South Florida put his heart on for the U when guys who was rated higher than him went elsewhere. He comes to the University of Miami. He's Miami as Miami gets, and he goes out there and gives his all. Those are the type of things I want to see from our players. And it's like,
Absolutely.
you know,
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's a dog. And he's grimy. He fights. He's a pit bull. You know, in my opinion, I wish he was a little faster, you know, because usually you equate short to really fast.
Yeah.
But in Bandy's side, in Bandy's viewpoint, you can't really equate both of those things.
Yeah.
He's not the fastest. He's obviously not the tallest, but he's some guy. He's a player that I would take on any one of my teams.
Absolutely.
But he brings that personality on the defense that DJ brings on the offense. I feel like.
Yeah.
With
And
Bandy.
I love DJ Dallas, but it's sickening to see a guy from Georgia put on for Miami better than Miami players and recruits were putting on for Miami.
Also, Bubba Bolden hasn't even shown up yet, and he reps Miami constantly on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think
he's not even there.
Being raised in Miami, I even had somebody tell me when I went to college. Rashad Flanders, he played at Miami Northwestern. We both played together at Mayville State, 4-time All-Conference, one of the best corners. He plays in the Arena League right now. And he told me that he used to love the U, and then he outgrew that. And I was like, what do you mean you outgrew it? And his response was, growing up, no matter what, we was big-time Miami Hurricanes fans. Then you got to a point where you got older and realized they just not what they used to be, and they probably never will be again. And you outgrew it. And that I almost started flipping tables in the room. I said, what are you talking about? You know, I hate people who flip-flop, but he had a point at that time. This was 2015. He had a point. He was saying, you know, Miami gets all this talent. Miami gets all the recruits. Dade County kids go. Broward County kids go. And the result was the same.
Yeah.
Duke Johnson goes to the University of Miami, breaks all the records. He didn't beat Florida State. He didn't win an ACC championship game. He didn't even appear in an ACC championship game.
Yep.
Duke Johnson had one of the best offensive lines in recent Miami history. First rounders.
Yeah.
On an offensive line.
That's a good point.
And nothing happened.
Yeah.
Well,
so
100.
you feel me?
Awful
We
defense.
had a point, and those things have to change in order for us to go forward. So I want to hear everybody's, and I hate to take this from Cam Underwood, but state of the U. Give you a couple minutes to really talk about your viewpoint on the program right now. And I feel like we've all kind of talked about it to a certain extent. But, Paul, I want you to go first. And I want you to talk about not only your viewpoint on Miami, but where do you see us as far as competing as being a top 10 team going to the end of 2019, 2020?
Man, I think last year, if Dan Enos was our offensive coordinator and Mark Richt was the head coach, I think we'd be talking about a top 5 team. You know, I think since our Golden, it's always been the shitty defense, the good offense. Then Mark Richt, the conservative, we flip-flop. Conservative offense, very good defense. This is the first time in Miami in a while where I've seen depth in a lot of positions. It may be young, but with a lot of talent. The only place that's very weak depth-wise, I think, that very unproven is offensive line. But, you know, give that another recruiting class, we should be fine. And linebacker, because of injuries, we're a little bit slim, but we'll be fine, I think, after we get healthy. There's a lot of talent on this roster, more than years past. I'm very excited. I truly do think we're turning the page. And we're just a couple plays away. Maybe the ball bounces our way for once in a little while. That we'll be back and we'll win a lot of games. But I think we need some luck with the ball bouncing our way. I think we're right there. We're just one recruiting class away, one other season away, and I think we're back. But I think we can go 11-1 this season. We just need a little magic on our side to happen. A couple plays have to go our way. Look, we have an easy schedule. I think we can run the table and be very good.
Junior.
The U is back, man.
Whoa.
The U is back. Listen, man. Hey, look. Let me tell you guys something.
I agree with Wholesome One.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. When I look at Manny, well, you said it there, Paul. If we had Dan Enos, if we had this offense, we're a top 5 team.
Right.
All right. And I'm with you 100%. Now, I'm just looking at Manny Diaz, what he did with this defense, turning this defense around, and we are one of the best, if not the best defense in the country. Now we're seeing that spread out through the whole team. That's all we were missing. We're seeing the development of the players. We're seeing, somebody like Dan Enos, not just making this offense like above average. No, we're going to see Dan Enos, I truly believe, turn this into an elite offense where we're going to see our players like Jeff Thomas get the ball almost every single series. We're going to see the speed. These players get the ball in space, spread out. I mean, we're going to see it top to bottom. Now, I understand there's still some questions. We have to see a solid offensive line, and I think that is the only missing link. Frankly, when it comes, I need to see a solid offensive line, like NFL caliber talent kind of offensive line, for us to really already be, with the Clemsons, with the Bama, and the Georgias. But I say the U is back for one reason, and Big Dog, my father's right there, and I used to argue with him on end about this crap. I'm like, how are you gonna say that we're on the brink, we gotta win, and I agree with that. We do have to win, for us to say the U is back. We gotta win national championships. That's when the U is gonna be back. I understand that. I'm with you guys, but I'm so excited, man. What I'm seeing with this Miami Hurricanes team, I haven't seen, frankly. I haven't seen in 20 years. Wholesome alluded to it. The talent has been there. The results haven't. I think it's because of coaching, but I think the coaching is in place. Manny gets it. He gets it, man. He grew up a Canes fan. He grew up in the 80s. He saw what this program is supposed to be about. He understands the standards that this program needs to have, and he's already implementing this. So I truly believe that we're going to shock the world, and we're going to have an amazing year. And, maybe we'll see what happens with Clemson. Like Paul said, we might need a ball to bounce a certain way or not, because luck is a part of the game. But I truly believe, man, in terms of development, in terms of coaching, in terms of just the competitive and the energy and just everything, the swag, the new Miami, this is it, man. This is it. This is the kind of vibe and the energy, and this is the University of Miami that we all fell in love with, and I just think we're seeing it unfold right before our eyes now with Manny taking over.
Big Dog.
When 2017 happened, and Junior can tell you, when I watch games, I've always, ever since, even before playing it, I always love X's and O's. I've always loved that aspect of it. So when I watch a game, I don't follow the ball. I mean, obviously I see the play result, but I'm looking at all the different matchups that I love, that I love to see what the offense is trying to do to the defense. What is the defense trying to do to the offense, type of thing. When I looked at that, and Junior can tell you, in 2017, this is before we won 10 in a row and started out 10-0. How many times we watch games together and I say, that's an NFL player, that's an NFL player, that's an NFL player. Okay? When I see some of the inferiority complex that some Canes fan has, here's what I don't quite understand. Name me another team in the country that has the number 247 composite dual threat the year he came out, arguably the greatest high school quarterback in history, in Tate Martell. And Cozy was the number 3 dual threat on ESPN the year he came out. Jaron was the number 5 pro style quarterback the year he came out. So you're looking at 3 top 5 QBs. Name me another school that has that right now. You ain't gonna find it. We got a 5-star Lorenzo Lingard at running back that's gonna have trouble seeing the field, even when he returns healthy. Okay, he's gonna have trouble. We just had Cam Harris was the number 8 running back in the country the year he came out. With Asa Martin, that would have given us 3 top 10 running backs in that same class. Brevin Jordan and Will Mallory, the best pair of tight ends
in the nation.
Our offensive line, Cam Underwood talked about this, is actually higher rated than Clemson's. Was if you look at the recruiting rankings, our offensive line is actually ranked higher than Clemson's. But what do we have?
Even with Zion Nelson in the starting lineup.
Yeah. Correct. What do we have? We had Stacy Searles that couldn't coach a lick. Frankly, okay, you said we're going to be uncut, right? Stacy Searles couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag.
Right.
Okay, because I didn't see any advancement on the offensive lineman. What he's not done with Navon Donaldson is a crime. Because you had a great piece of clay, and he has not developed from his freshman year to now. He's going to be dominant this year. Watch. Because Butch Berry is a coach.
Yeah,
DJ Scaife is going to be a stud. Corey Gaynor is going to be a stud. Our front 7 is the best in the country. Woo! And yes, our DBs don't have a ton of experience, okay, but they have talent. And we have 9 guys in our defensive secondary that were 4-star or above. 9. Okay, so this idea that, oh, well, we still, and I'm not talking about Paul, what you said, I completely agree with. I would feel a lot better, especially because of the offensive line that we're recruiting in this class. Mm-hmm. But the talent to win is there now. And with Manny, what I see is a sense of urgency that we haven't had here since Butch Davis.
Yeah.
Okay? And Manny has that sense of urgency that when we win a game by 2 touchdowns that we should have won by 5, I guarantee you there'll be a cooler turned over. There'll be a film session where guys are trying to hide. Also, you remember those? You could tell when a guy got laid out or something, and they were doing the film session. The guy would lean back like this and trying to make himself small. That's Manny Diaz.
Yep.
And he'll do one of these. He'll put it backwards and forwards 3-4 times without saying a word. So you get embarrassed. Okay? That wasn't happening before. That happens with Butch Berry. Dan Enos in front of everybody lit Jaron Williams up last Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Lit him up.
He did the same thing to DJ Dallas when he fumbled on the first play.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think that practice, Cam was the one that was running most of the first team reps.
Right. Cam and Burns were switching back and forth first and second.
Mm-hmm. Because you fumbled in practice and Enos lights you up. Okay, Mark Richt was allowing entire games to be blown without changing anything. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Yes, sir.
That's what I see with Manny. Now, to your point, yes. Are we ready for Clemson? Talent-wise, I'm not scared. They got experience at the highest level in championship games. A lot of our guys don't.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a difference. August 24th, I'm not, like you said, I'm not scared of Florida. What I am scared is it's our first game with a brand new offense, brand new quarterback running that offense, and some hiccups are going to happen. You're going to have false starts. You're going to have illegal formations. Somebody forgets to cover up the tackle. Somebody runs a wrong pattern, a wrong read. There's going to be hiccups when you're installing a brand new system in your first game. Yeah. But in terms of talent, I'll play with anybody. Yeah. I'll take Miami with anybody.
In my response to that, we didn't, Junior, correct me if the host was wrong, and I'm usually not wrong. I didn't see a false start or an eligible receiver downfield, holding, none of that in practice Monday. Did you see any of that
Good.
last week?
No.
Good.
And
Good.
you were,
Those are
That
the
makes me
things
feel
that I
good.
watched out for because I know my junior year at American Senior High School, we were an I formation team. I started at center. My senior year, I started at center. We were a spread team, and we had a different cadence. I played under 4 different offensive coordinators, so I know what it's like to have somebody new and have to learn it every single spring for the fall. And it was my job to make sure my offensive line was ready to go. It was my job to do all the calls. It was my job to make sure we knew what was coming out on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And when I got to defense in college, because I played both ways in high school, it was my job to make sure, once I became a senior, to make sure that everyone on defense, everyone knew what we were supposed to do, formations and all of that type of thing. So that's why I'm able to speak about it, because I had to do it. I had to turn in those sheets that we had to, that they do at D1 colleges right now. Where, okay, what comes if they come out in this formation? If they come out in this defense, what do we do? Because everyone has to do those pre-tests and make sure that you know what to do. And it's not about pass or fail. It's about, if you don't know, speak up and let us know, so that when we go out here in wartime and the bullets is flying, people get knocked out, helmets is rolling, you still know what to do. You keep your cool until I snap this football.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are things that I noticed when I'm watching this. Corey Gaynor, and I spoke about this on my live stream that we did, New School Canes, that we will do tomorrow, and also Thursday. Junior and the Bigdog will be doing their live stream. Make sure you check out those, because if you came here, which means you love all of our individual channels and our collabs.
Right.
So that means you're going to be definitely here for all of our personal collabs that we do with New School Canes and Junior and the Bigdog, your favorite father and son combination. But shout out to Paul. Shout out to Paul. Paul came up with that one. But shout out when I looked at Corey Gaynor and I saw that he hasn't had much experience since 2017.
Right.
After playing in 2017 for Devon Donaldson for the last couple of games, he was man enough to take a red shirt in 2018.
Yep.
And develop so that he was ready for 2019 and 2020. How many 4-star recruit offensive linemen would do that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
100. And look at him now. And look at him now.
And look at him ready to hit somebody in the mouth now.
Mm-hmm.
David Philly is the cornerstone of this program.
Oh, 100.
Him and Stephen Fields will be that with of course, Manny Diaz. Everyone else can leave. But if you have those three, and Coach Cooney, head of recruiting.
Yes.
Those 4 right there, because him and Stephen Fields are close. And Stephen Fields was head of recruiting at Oregon and at Louisville. And he would come and steal a couple South Florida recruits from us every now and again at both those institutions.
Yes, he would.
And now he comes back to the place that gave him his master's degree. He was assistant tight ends coach as a GA under Randy Shannon. And now he's a tight ends coach at the University of Miami. He chewed Will Mallory a new one last week, Monday, for dropping a simple out route. Will Mallory dominated the rest of the practice.
Tell them the story of exactly the way Field did it. And that was important.
So it's actually 2 stories that come from that practice. One with Brevin Jordan and Ja'Kai Clark that I don't know if you guys saw that story. It was more like a leadership story. I'll talk about that later. But what happened with Will Mallory? So they're doing it against air. This isn't against anyone. No one is against Will Mallory. And so Will Mallory goes up, he pumps his arms, whips his head around, puts his hands out there. They go straight through his hand. Instead of Stephen Fields calling them trash, calling them garbage, saying you're the worst, he runs up to him. He's chewing him a new one. But guess what, Canes fans? With positive energy. He tells him, you're the best on this field. You're the best tight end we have. You own the first team defense. You're better than that. Catch the football. Those are the type of things that great quality
100.
coaches do. I'm yelling at you, but I'm uplifting you to let you know you have to live up to your own standard of being a great football player.
Mm-hmm.
And those type of things is and that's why I understand why Junior is saying what he's saying. Mark Richt wouldn't have done that. He
No.
probably would have been like, it happened.
Wholesome, you're a coach right now. Okay.
Yep.
I'm a Christian too. Okay. And my faith is very, very important to me. All right. If I'm the head coach and my strength and conditioning coach doesn't show up for a player workout one time, I want to see. You better tell me somebody in your family's in the hospital. You better show me the car wreck. You better show me something. But you didn't show up because you forgot or you overslept. No, I'm sorry. So what type of accountability can you have with an 18, 19-year-old kid if the grown man who's in charge of your strength and conditioning program was allowed to sometimes miss player workouts? Maybe it didn't happen more than twice or three times. That's all it needs to happen.
Yeah.
And see those things, even for me as a student assistant, I have to be 30 minutes early to practice.
Oh, yes. If not,
I
you're
have
late.
to be 30 minutes early to every meeting. I come out and put the paperwork down for the coaches. I know what every single coach likes in his coffee, or whether he likes tea or whether they like water. Cold or hot. Those are things that I do because I'm laying the groundwork for what I know has to be done. And I haven't misstepped. I haven't had anybody yell at me, but I know I could lose the position. They're paying for my degree right now as an assistant.
Exactly.
I could lose my position. There's hundreds of kids that applied, and I got it. I could lose it if I'm not in position. And see, that's the thing. And that ties into competition on a football field. It could be that one practice that Nestor Silvera gets hurt, and Jordan Miller has an opportunity to take over and show that he needs reps. Could be that one practice that Scott Patton tweaks a hammy, knock on wood. And Gregory Rousseau goes out there and dominates and shows that he deserves some snaps.
There you go.
It's about
that's Miami.
And you have
that's Miami.
Exactly. And the competition that we create at defensive line, I want to see that same competition on offensive line. I love to see Kylion Herbert as a redshirt junior get his opportunity as a starter and holding it down against Scott Patchen, a future NFL player.
Yep.
I like to see Shaq Quarterman and Mike Pinkney start. But do you know how excited I would have been to see BJ Jennings come and take first-team reps away from Shaq Quarterman?
Absolutely.
That's why I love to see DJ Dallas take the job from not DJ Dallas.
Cam from DJ.
Blades Ivy.
Blades Ivy.
Come to take the job away from DJ Ivy. I like to see that combination because it shows me that it's competition and nothing is given. And if you walk in here with that mentality like it's given to you, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so those type of things is what makes the University of Miami great. We're going over 2 hours, guys. I know we could go question for question, all day long.
Sure.
But if you guys could shoot some rapid fire real fast, and we'll give our real short answers, and we can keep going. I don't know if you guys want to answer this, but one of the questions was, do you trust Mike Rumph as a cornerback coach?
100%. Want me to start?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're doing this.
I didn't know who.
Rapid fire. Go ahead.
Okay.
Michael Jackson. Look what he did. Look what he did with Michael Jackson. I think that's a perfect example, man. What he turned him into, and I
Adrian
think
Colbert.
And when it comes to recruiting, I mean, I think he's doing a phenomenal job taking away Christian Williams from Saban in Alabama. I mean, I'm 100% fine with Mike Rumph, and I have total confidence in him.
Paul?
Yes, 100%. Michael Jackson, Adrian Colbert, Trajan Bandy. I mean, I'm interested to see how Corey Callis and Christian Williams develop, and I'm very excited.
Big dog?
I think the negativity over Rumph started because of his background of American heritage. People thought that he could bring Tyson Campbell and Patrick Surtain Jr. to Miami, and when he struck out, people hold it against him. That's what I think. Guys, again, we have 9 4-star or above defensive backs in our secondary. Banda and Rumph are doing that job. Okay. and under Rumpf, they developed. Why did Mike Rumpf have a long NFL career? He wasn't the talent. He wasn't Philip Buchanan.
Right.
He wasn't
Buchanan
Andrew
was
Roll.
number one. People don't even know that. Buchanan was the better of the two.
Absolutely, but Buchanan was one of the best athletes that ever played at the U, and people don't know that. Okay,
Right.
but because he didn't have that, I mean, he had a good career as a returner. He didn't pan out in the NFL really as a cover corner. But the reality is, Mike Rumpf has developed guys, as has Banda, and guys, he's a well above average coach. So
And
I am happy with Rumpf.
The next question is about safeties, and I'm going to just bring up an answer. I'm going to put them both together, and then I'll let you guys talk about who you're starting. The question is who you're starting safeties. But let's really sit here and think about this. Two unproven coaches came in spring of 2015. Spring 2016, and everyone who has started for them is playing in the NFL right now.
Boom.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, Colson, drop the mic.
That's it.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. Game over. Game
Every
over.
single player who has started for
Game
them,
over.
excluding Malik Young, who got the neck injury,
Right.
is
Right.
playing NFL football right now. And guess who's the only one who's undrafted out of all their starters?
D. Delaney.
Oh well, D. Delaney.
I don't
really
because
count.
he was a graduate transfer, so I don't count him.
I'm talking about like developed in the program.
The guy that we developed.
Jamal Carter. And he's still with the Broncos 3 seasons later.
He is. That's it. Dude, you said it. End of story. That's right there, ditto what Olsen said.
Yeah.
So, I trust them. And a lot of those guys wasn't even big 4 and 5 star guys. That's what makes me so excited about now having the talented players. Because
Michael Jackson,
3-star corner.
Yeah.
Except for Quan Johnson, he was a 4-star, but
Michael Jackson, Wholesome. How bad did Michael Jackson look early in his career?
Oh my goodness. Especially in that zone 3-4 trash. Yeah,
that was horrible. That was a horrible defense, period.
Yeah, it was sickening to see guys like Anthony Chickalo and Denzel Perryman be wasted on that team. And it's crazy. Those guys are still in the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I said I'll be rapid fire, so I
all right. Oh no, who do you got as a starter safeties?
Yeah, go ahead.
That was the question.
Big Dog, take off.
No. Who do you got, Wholesome, as your starters at safety?
Oh, me? Are we going to do 3 and include the striker, or are we just going to do 2 free and strong?
Well, striker, I think we were pretty. Everybody knows that it's going to be Finley. Is going to be as a starter.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say Finley at the striker. At free safety, Gervin Hall. But at strong safety, this might shock people, but I think Derek Smith might come and take it away from Amari Carter. And I love Amari Carter. I think Amari Carter is a day 3 pick right now. But Derek Smith, with his ability and his dog tenacity as a playmaker, at least in practice up until this point.
Yep.
He could Robert knows us and be a practice All-American. I don't know. But
Green All-American.
I see Carter. I see Finley, Carter, and Smith. And backups, I would say, is Bubba at free safety. I know he'll fight for some play time, but maybe not on August 24th. Carter at strong, and I got Frierson at the striker as the backup.
I got basically the same exact thing you have. I do think Derek Smith is going to take over that strong safety. I think Gervin Hall is going to be the free. I think Amari is going to be the third safety to play. And I think when Bubba's ready, I think Bubba's going to challenge for a starting spot. And I think Banda's going to go at people with those 4 safeties in waves. Everybody plays. Everybody stays fresh.
That's what I think. I think.
The striker, the same exact thing. Finley with Frierson backing him up.
And I love Finley, man.
I do. I love Finley.
I got the same thing. I don't know, man, about Smith taking that away from Carter.
He's a better cover, and he can hit too.
And he's been looking great, especially in the fall camp. But like you said, I think we don't even have to be concerned necessarily with who's going to start back there. I think this is going to be waves, especially once Bubba gets acclimated with the offense and our way of doing things down here. I think we're gonna see a wave of those four in particular. Amari, Gervin, Smith, and Bubba, and then
And
G3
before
after Finley with the striker.
Paul to give his one thing I do want I would like is once Bubba's truly up to speed, we could with Bubba and Gervin we could play a lot of games where they don't know who's who because both those guys I think could play both those positions.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
I got Gervin Hall. Amari Carter waited his turn. I think this is going to be a big year for him. He's waited his turn in line. He's going to step up. I think Derek Smith can add nice depth. I don't know if he's going to be that star safety we've all been seeing in the practices this fall. We'll see. And I want Bubba Bolden to speed things up with him. I don't know how quick it'll be, but we need him,
Yep.
And keep your eye out on Keontre Smith. You might see him here and there make some nice plays against lower tier teams like North Carolina, gain some confidence, and then he can have a role in a big time. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
I can see him being a big time special teams guy this year.
Yes.
But in my opinion, him and honestly, I don't think we throw a red shirt on any cornerback, including Corey Couch. But
Really?
I could see Smith because of the depth. I could see him playing those 4 games and then getting
And shutting it down. Yeah.
The reason why I don't say Corey Couch could get red shirted is because we're so paper thin.
Yeah.
And if somebody goes down, who's
then he might get forced into it. I'd like to see him red shirt for his career. Because okay. I really would like him to get up to like 175, 180. They say he's at 165 now. Okay. I'll say he's at 165, but I'd like to see him 175, 180 before he starts getting significant playing time. But you're right, though. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, and it's not like we got a ton of corners. So
right.
Exactly.
I see a lot of comments in here. Most people are just happy that we're hovering at 220 right now for well over 40 minutes.
That's amazing.
Back
guys, thank you.
That's amazing, man. We just want to say thank you all to everyone that is here. Like I said, I want to respect everybody's time. I don't know what we planned on an hour and a half, but me and Big Dog agreed that this could go 2-3 hours easily.
Also,
Paul and Junior also agreed.
If you and I were alone on the phone talking X's and O's, it would be the 4 a.m.
Exactly. And the funny part about it is, Kane's family, we did this a couple of days ago where all 5 of us came on just to test it out. Turned into an hour and a half conversation.
It really did.
It took everything in us for us not to just hit live at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
It's all a little insight of, uncut us just talking Canes,
Yeah,
exactly.
But it was an amazing feeling to be around this U family. Thank you all for the support. I know other people are on live right now. No disrespect to anybody who's on live. Zoe, no disrespect to you. If we were on live at the same time, we didn't mean to cut your numbers. NMD TV, we don't mean to cut your numbers either. But this is something we're doing once a month. And, we want to go ahead and have our love, too, for our Canes family. So no disrespect to anyone who's on live at this point. We've been well over 2 hours, and thank you all to everyone who is here. I just want to go ahead and put that out there. Saw some stuff in the chat I didn't like. We're Canes family. We don't come to disrespect anybody.
100%.
Because especially Zoe, he's an OG. Coach Coop, he's an OG. These are guys who were in the game before even a trio of new school Canes was here over a year ago. And the new wave, they endorse us. They love us. They love to see us come on, and they have us on their show too. So like I said, no disrespect to them at all. We do apologize if we took away from your wave. We'll apologize. But the last thing everyone keeps talking about.
Yes, please.
Let's just go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. We're not waiting until now. Our next live will be in 2 weeks.
Right.
Game week, Monday of game week, August 19th, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's our next live stream. and we would do a in-depth breakdown, game by game, from Florida all the way to Duke. And then, of course, the Clemson breakdown, because we're going to the ACC championship game.
Hell
It's
yeah.
not a choice. We're
Hell
going
yeah.
to the ACC championship
Money, baby.
game. So we just want to go ahead and say that. But I want to put you all on the spot. And Paul, since you're talking all that smack, I want you to go first. Which quarterback has impressed you the most up until this point? And who do you foresee as the starter against the Gators, August 24th? And if so, does that starter play all 13 games for the Miami Hurricanes? Go ahead, Paul.
Oof.
I got to go with Perry. He's night and day from last season.
He done come to his senses, guys. Yes, Lord.
He's proven me wrong. I didn't think he'd show out like he's done this offseason. And we're riding and dying with Perry. He's starting from day one. He's the guy. I think if he does like 35 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, which I'm predicting when he starts, I think he can go pro. So that's like a deep goal prediction. I'm all in for Perry. I really am. Martell, I expected more out of him. He came in and he didn't bring it. I thought he'd bring a lot more. He didn't bring it.
Big dog.
The starter come August 24th, 2019 for the University of Miami Hurricanes, and will start all 13 games and will be second team All-ACC to Trevor Lawrence, will be named Jaron Williams.
Wow. Jared?
Okay.
I'm riding with Jaron. I'm riding. I'll tell you why. And this is Junior knows I've been like trying to crunch this as much as I could. I just think he's such a good fit. First off, he's the most pro style, pro ready. I'll make it as quick as I can. The reason people miss out on quarterbacks is what makes a quarterback successful is mostly from the pocket. Can you deliver the ball with proper ball placement to the right person at the right time where he gets to yards after the catch? If you do that consistently, okay, notice what Manny said today on 560 QAM. He said, number one, avoid critical errors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number two, read your progression properly. Okay, go through your progression properly. Your first your first choice, second choice, like that, and deliver the guy, because he said everybody's always going to have a choice on every play with Dan Enos.
Yeah,
so go through your progression and make sure you're throwing it to the proper guy. Number three, throw it with accuracy. That's what he said is number three, and consistent accuracy, where you're putting the ball in the proper place. Remember what Mike Harley said in the spring. He said, with Jaron, it feels like an NFL quarterback because the ball is almost always in the perfect spot. And then he said the last thing was, can whoever makes special plays, but if you don't do those three things, those special plays don't mean anything. So I'm taking him at his word, and I think that model of quarterback that he's looking for is Jaron Williams. And obviously, you guys know my feelings on him as an athlete. Twice got timed over 20 miles an hour. Young man ran for 1,300 yards in high school, which people forget. Jaron Williams is a much better athlete than people give him credit for. He's not Tate. I'm not saying he's Tate. But I think he has that spark. I saw him do it in film in high school where he can get out of the pocket and make plays. And I think he's the best quarterback for this team and Dan Enos' offense. So that's my 2 cents.
Man, I wasn't ready for this wholesome, man.
Yeah, you can't check it out.
Whew. All right, disclaimer though. Disclaimer: whoever the quarterback
Oh,
is,
absolutely.
I
Right.
Oh
don't.
yeah. So we
Disclaimer.
doing our predictions right now and projections. I mean, it was a 3-part question. Everybody's answering the 2, but my number 1 question was who has most improved in your eyes at the quarterback position. But everybody kind of skipped over that one.
No. That's in Cozy. To me, that's in Cozy.
Okay.
That's not an argument. I mean, you can say Tate from spring to fall.
Right.
I give that to Tate. But the Nkosi Perry this year looks nothing like the Nkosi Perry of last year.
What about you, Paul?
About say the question again.
Who has impressed you and improved the most?
Perry, night and day,
Okay.
man. Night and day.
Not even the same dude.
Yeah,
not even the same dude.
The floor is yours, Junior. I gave you some more time to think about it. Don't mess up.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I think I would agree that Nkosi, I think looks nothing like the Nkosi that we saw last year, which I think is very promising. And you said the second. What was the second question, Wholesome?
Oh, who's your pick?
Yeah.
And the third question is, does that player play all 13 games, or do you foresee them maybe losing the job?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll say something real quick. Dion, Jaron's from Georgia. He actually played in Georgia, which in a very tough league in Georgia. So go ahead.
Right. Didn't he have to play the Clemson quarterback twice a year or something like that?
Yeah. And that not the school he was at originally, but the school he transferred to.
Right. They were rivals or something.
Yep.
But go ahead. Sorry, Drew. Go ahead.
So if I had to pick one right now, I feel like piggybacking so much off you, big dog, but I'm not gonna do it, man. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna go with me. You leave me on my island.
I'm not gonna do it, man, because I've been there with you. But if I had to pick one right now, and I'll add a twist to this, I think Tate gets the nod against Florida.
Wow, you're going Tate.
I think Tate gets the nod against Florida. I don't think he remains a starter for all 13 games.
Ooh. But Coach Diaz said it was one guy. That's it.
Yeah, right.
No. He means that in terms of he when Diaz says that, he means that he's not gonna play musical chairs or to do think that if one of these quarterbacks, whoever it is, if it's Tate, Jaren, and Cozy, they had a stretch or 2 or 3 bad games and somebody steps up in practice, I do think somebody else can get the nod and take the job over. I do see that being possible. I don't see the musical chairs. Diaz playing that same game with Richt, especially with Virginia, playing with Cozy, and then
second quarter you're gone.
Yeah, second quarter you're gone. I think that's dumb. You can't do that. These quarterbacks have to feel adversity, and you got to see how they can react to adversity. But
I do. I have a Tate package. I do think there's a Tate package no matter what. Absolutely. If it's Perry or Williams, there's a Tate package.
I want to. My heart wants to go with you, Big Dog, and say Jaren, because I've been a Jaren guy from day one. I don't know, man. Something's telling me something's telling me Tate Martell.
Okay.
So we'll see. I know, man. I know.
Actually, I might catch you off guard too.
Uh-oh.
No.
What?
Nah, man. You're hopping on the bandwagon.
You're staying with Perry.
Yeah.
I personally, now this is my coach's opinion. This isn't just the host's opinion. My personal opinion is that it's Perry, and I think Perry is the best quarterback on the roster, ready to take us to the next.
Right.
I think he has the mentality of Tate. He's just not showing it. Because I rewatched that Florida State game, and he was talking smack and pointing fingers, and he went after them people. Okay?
No, mentality, Jared is so far in third place, it's not even close.
But that's just what he shows us. Sometimes there's quiet killers.
Yeah, you're right. He is laid back.
I'm a bouncer at a club.
But I'd rather
person in front talking all the smack.
No, but I'd rather have
behind him in the cut that I'm worried about that might come out of nowhere and shoot the whole place.
I got you. But tell you, if Jaren has Tater and Cozy's mentality, do you think it's even that close of a race? with as
No,
much
no, no,
talent
no,
as
no, no,
Karen
no, no,
has.
no, 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 no. He would have been the starter last season. We would have won 10 games.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's 100% true.
And I'm not trying to backtrack, but if you ask me who has the more prototypical arm and who can have a 10-year NFL career, I have to say Jaron Williams. If you
Yeah, I
ask
agree with that.
me if we were playing in the Big 12 or the Pac-12, who would I want at my quarterback? I would say Tate Martell. I think
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think he could be Kyler Murray, as far as like quick running and people can't tackle him. But honestly, if we look at the ACC Coastal, everyone plays solid defense.
Yeah, they do.
You can't come out there with a one-trick pony at quarterback and expect to win 9, 10 games.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I think, Paul, you had something to say?
No, you can get finished, Ultima. I'll say it afterwards.
Okay. Am I lagging? Like, can anybody hear me? Because I'm seeing in the
I hear
comments-
you fine. The video's lagging a little bit, wholesome, but the audio's perfect.
Yeah, audio's been fine the whole time.
Okay, it's just a picture because I see some people saying like they can't pick up anything that I'm saying, but I guess the audio. Hopefully, the audio is okay.
Yeah, the audio sounds perfect.
But if it's just
To
one
me.
or two people, it's the minority that's saying it, not the majority. So we're good.
Okay, well, for those of us that I'm lagging, I'm sorry, guys. But I'm a 5 guy. I'm a Nkosi guy. I think Nkosi is the starter. I think Nkosi will lead us to 11, 12 wins. And I don't agree with people who say it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. We would get a different outcome with all 3 quarterbacks. If we trot out Tate Martell, it better be like the Florida Gators are going to have a bad defense if we're going to trot out Tate Martell.
Yeah.
Now, I will preface my statements by saying this. If you give me that 2013, 2014 offensive line, give me Jaron Williams, no questions asked. If you tell me he gets 5 seconds like Brad Kaya used to as a freshman, listen.
That's fair.
If you tell me Stephen Morris gets time to throw 60-yard bombs like he did in 2013 with that offensive line, give me Jaron. But I believe that Perry is athletic enough. His arm is terrifying.
It is. He has a cannon.
And his big-time game experience is what's going to put him over the hump.
Yeah.
And a coach that truly cares and wants to see him succeed instead of a coach that's just going to yank him out of the game.
Yeah. And doesn't teach him a damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I will say I agree with everyone else saying that. I said earlier that Tate, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to be all the way 100. Tate has done the most improvement because Tate has gone from an F to a D- C+ type of player.
Throwing, for sure.
He's decided to stop going because he can't throw 30 yards. He's decided to take checkdowns. He's decided that's stuff that Jaron Williams was doing for the last two years in practice. Instead of taking a sack, he'll take a checkdown. He'll throw the ball away. He might not go after the deep ball. But that's the thing about Nkosi Perry is what's going to happen when we're in a shootout, defenses are playing their best game. We're going to need a gunslinger to throw us out of games. Tate Martell and Jaron can't do it. Nkosi Perry can. I think in every situation, Nkosi Perry is the one to win.
See, but
young offensive line, Nkosi Perry.
But
Spread offense, throwing the ball over the yard, Nkosi Perry. Highly experienced against quality teams, Nkosi Perry. He checks off all the marks to me, and I think he's going to have a Jalen Hurts 2015 type of season under Dan Enos.
I'll say this: the point you made about the experience. If it wasn't a brand new offense, I would probably switch my pick to 5. If it wasn't a brand new offense, for sure. But the fact
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that as far as it being a new offense, but doesn't that go hand in hand with somebody having D1 experience?
Oh, no. The D1 experience helps you, period. But if he had experience in that offense, it would be even more so.
To learn a playbook if you've had experience learning a playbook.
Right.
Experience is the best teacher. Yeah, a coach might be able to tell you to go out there and run 24 wide, whatever, play action pass. Well, against North Carolina, who you played last year, they tend to blitz a lot on this down. So that wheel route, like that little flare route, I'm gonna tell the running back, hey, go wheel, because this linebacker's coming. I've seen this before. Not on film, not practice film, not game film. I played against this guy and he did.
And saw the look.
I saw this exact same defense. I'm telling you, he's gonna come. So what you do is you go up and you fake like you block him, and I want you to peel out and turn it into a wheel. I'm gonna lob it up and you go score the touchdown.
Yep.
Those type of things, Tate and Darren can't tell a starting running back because Nkosi has done it. I know for a fact I'm not race baiting. I'm not here to do none of that trash. I'm not saying that the starting quarterback is going to be Tate Martell because of anything. I'm not saying that Nkosi Perry is going to be the starter or Jaren was going to be starting anything besides the fact that they may have earned this job. Let's put that out on their plate because there's some people out here who do those things. I'm not one of those guys.
And also, and I'll tell you what, I've been with Jaren since before he showed up January of last year, since in high school, but if Jaren doesn't win the job, I'm completely off the Jaren train because number one, he's going to transfer, and I know he's going to transfer if he doesn't win the job. Okay. And number two, he's the most talented. So if he doesn't get the job, why is it? Because he didn't work as hard as Nkosi or Tate?
Right.
Do you think that is working hard enough, or maybe he's just not there yet?
No. I think with Jaren, it comes down to not working hard enough, man.
Wholesome, that kid is talented, man. That kid has made some throws.
But see, that's why I have some reservations with Jaren because of that reason. Because I feel like Jaren should have won his head out
already. Right?
He should have been won this job already. Frankly,
okay,
and that's one reason why
not outworked him. Maybe not outworked him, but then something's missing from his personality to be the type of leader that Dan Enos and Manny Diaz wants.
I think that's
that could be it too.
Because I see in Cozy having that leadership and more of that vocal, presence with this team, exactly, compared to somebody like Jaren. Jaren looks like he's a little too reserved, and maybe like he's not taking that leadership role by the horns, which is what Manny and Enos want to see. So I don't know.
All right, well,
I'm sorry, Paul. We haven't given you a chance.
You're good. But to counter that Jaren either is hard work or I think he's just not there yet. I think we're now in college football where we're seeing freshmen come in and just start right away. Where it used to not be like that. Where we used to see people their sophomore, junior year, or even senior year have a big year. We're not used to the true freshman coming in, the redshirt freshman coming in, just dominating. And that's what it is now. So I think people kind of had the mindset. And so I think Jaren with him is just not ready yet. When he never really played college, he really hasn't. Just Savannah State. So
yeah, that's fair.
But, and to be honest with you, Jaren Williams' comp coming out of high school, I don't know if a lot of people know this, was Taj Boyd.
Oh,
yeah. But you know what? I don't see that. I see if I had to pick a comp for him, man.
My NFL comparison is Dak Prescott. That was
okay. That would be to me. He's more Dak Prescott than Taj Boyd.
And you're okay, right? Yeah, because Taj Boyd was super athletic
and thick and like. He was a different body type.
Big time game. But the reason why I compared him to NFL Dak Prescott, I know a lot of people may not like it. Some Cowboy haters. I don't like the Cowboys either. But they have a quarterback who won't lose them games. He won't put them in bad situations. He throws less than 7 interceptions in 16-game seasons. That's something that Jaren Williams would do at the University of Miami.
Yeah.
But the flip side to that is he won't go win you a game either.
He doesn't have the X factor.
Okay.
He won't go out and throw for 450 yards in a shootout. Malik Rozier did it because that season he was high confident. And that's why I'm saying Nkosi Perry, once he goes out there and sees his wide receivers catching the damn ball, I don't know how far he could take this team. Because he's going to be so elated to finally have more than one person, Jeff Thomas, catch the damn football.
Yeah.
Now, are you concerned about his lack of touch? Because some of those drops were on him. Some of those were him throwing high
Oh,
velocity.
absolutely. Yeah.
Are you
But
concerned about his touch, or do you feel that that's corrected already?
me and Junior, back me up on this, or go opposite if you feel as though. I think the touch thing has been fixed.
Okay.
I'm not quite there yet.
Ooh.
Okay. I
I'm-
watched it in practice.
Yeah.
I watched it with my own eyes against air, 7-on-7, 9-on-9, and 11-on. When those drag routes came across, he didn't beam it. He let them.
Let him
When those
and
drag
soft.
routes came, he let them.
He definitely looks a lot better.
Huh?
100%. He like I said, like the Nkosi from last year compared to this year is night and day. I don't see it as often. My thing with Nkosi was always like the inconsistency. I understand the offense was terrible. I understand, like, you know, a lot of drop passes and whatnot, but that's something that always scared me about Nkosi. And then I saw him in spring, and I'm just like, whoa.
Oh, it's a different dude. It's
No,
different.
I'm
And then
not gonna lie, I wasn't impressed with any of the quarterbacks at the end of spring.
right.
Like I don't know if they was holding back on us, but spring ball was pretty trash.
Right.
No, but Perry was by far the best in spring.
Oh yeah. Of course, but what I'm saying is, I don't see that. Trill Live 305 Holloway, stop hating, bro. How could you say Williams won't throw 400? Okay, I'm not even gonna respond to that because I don't want to cut up on TV. I don't want to cut up.
No, I mean, I think he can. I think in the right system, he can be a quarterback that wins you games.
I'm just not gonna be
Paul
surprised at whoever
said
wins.
something. Paul said about the it factor.
I don't think he has the X factor.
You know,
I think only two quarterbacks have the X factor.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You know, you guys know the Bugsy Siegel story, and actually it was the Lucky Luciano story. You guys know Lucky Luciano story?
No.
When they were deciding, there were these four gangsters. It was Meyer Lansky, Lucky Luciano, Bugsy Siegel, and Frank Costello. And they were trying to decide who was going to be the boss. So they gave a note. All of them were dressed in nice suits, sitting in a room. They gave a note to a kid and said, there's a really important guy in that room, and you got to give him this note. And the kid walks in and gives it to Lucky Luciano, right? So all he knew was an important guy. He looked at all four guys, and he thought Luciano was the one that looked like the boss. The thing I see with Nkosi and Tate, you notice that when they walk into a room, I'm not so sure you notice Jaron.
Yeah, you're right. And that comes with youth and being a leader.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe he grows into it. He's not going to go into it here because if he don't win the job, he's transferring.
And that,
because if he's listed as a redshirt sophomore or redshirt freshman,
he's a redshirt freshman.
Perry's a redshirt sophomore.
Nkosi is a redshirt sophomore.
Correct.
Tate is a redshirt sophomore too.
Correct.
If both of them were a year, let's say he was still a redshirt freshman, and Tate and Perry were redshirt juniors, I would be a lot more happy about that.
Right. Then he might stay.
But they're so close together.
Yeah, he's gone, and I think he's gonna go to Georgia Tech, and I think he's gonna light it up at Georgia Tech.
No, I don't think they'll allow him to transfer within. Oh well,
yeah, you can stop that. You can stop that.
Now you can do it.
Yeah, hell yeah,
now you can do it. Now they might not give him a waiver to play right away. But if he does it like before this season, then he would just sit this season and come in next year. But then he would only have 2 years left anyways, because then he can't redshirt twice.
Right.
I got a question for you guys. Be Dan Enos right now in your head. There's got to be one guy who's out of the equation, and you got to narrow it down to two. Battling out. It's the last week. Remember, Coach Diaz said he was going to name one after this scrimmage.
Yep.
Who's the guy?
I can't do it.
Who's the guy? Who's out?
I have a tough time, but I'd have to say, to me, it's Tate Martell is out.
Tate Martell.
I think Tate has a package for him, regardless.
Okay.
Dan Enos will have a Tate. Tate's going to play in all 13 games. Okay. So, but it's a package. But one guy's eliminated. It's Tate Martell.
Okay.
Because he's just so far behind those other two as passes.
I mean, Big Dog. I was gonna say that exact same thing. Tate Martell has packages. He's the only quarterback with a package. He's
Correct.
the only quarterback that has all these, like, people are just gonna force him on the football field. He's been forced down our throat. Every 247, every ESPN article has 18 on the cover of it. He's the guy that they're gonna force out there to play. Oh Lord, this man said Tate Martell is twitchy enough to play slot receiver.
No.
Oh God.
You
I mean, he's the same size.
Oh,
as
he's
Arnold,
an elite athlete in short area quickness. But we got guys that are coming in. We got Marcus Fleming coming in who has that short area quickness and runs a 4.4.
And then you got my guy, Xavier Restrepo.
That's my guy. I love that guy.
Xavier Restrepo 1.0.
Yes.
That's my guy. I DM'd him personally.
I did too.
Hey, man, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
We even got the same taste, dude.
Yeah.
That was Junior even reached out to him to give me a birthday present so we could have him on the show.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just love that guy. And he goes to camps and lights up five-star cornerbacks for breakfast. Lights them up, embarrasses them. I love Restrepo.
Hey, so are we gonna do a little side bet for this quarterback battle or what?
Oh, all right. I'm down. What's the side bet?
I don't know. We gotta discuss it. I have no idea.
I mean, hey, you can't come to the table talking smack and don't have nothing to present.
Yeah.
Because we got two.
You gotta come on and say like, "Hey, man, you know whether."
Actually, I got a $50 bill on the table. Nicosi Perry start August 24th. I will be at the game. If you don't have,
you do realize
I'm gonna find you.
You see, I don't feel that confidence with my pick. I can't tell you like $50 on the table. Tate Martell's gonna be the starting quarterback.
With us
like,
five,
I can't do it.
You're on an island because Paul and also
grain, man.
have Perry. Me and Anton have Jaron.
Yeah.
So you're the only one that has Tate.
I had to go against the grain, baby. I gotta represent one of our other quarterbacks without you on their helmet. So I'm going with Tate.
But I think you would end up having the most to gain because if he trots out there, you get all of them.
Nah, but when we say starter, we say starter.
But you know what? I can't pick.
That's what I'm saying. Trots out there as the starter.
Right.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man.
Okay.
We got to do something good. We got to make it to like, the losers gotta do like the Dougie or something on our collab.
So I'm on the island by myself, right? Because Big Dog, you and Anton have Jaron, Holtzman and Paul have Cozy, and all right, that's cool. Hey, I like it. I'll roll with Tate, baby. Let's go.
So
listen, there are three talented quarterbacks. You want to do a 50?
Are you matching my 50? Yes or no?
5-0.
We'll throw it. I'll throw it a 50.
Oh man.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Oh, you in this or what?
It's just like I feel like Tate Martell's going to be under center, man. Like it's either Perry or Martell, and it's like I can't pick one because I feel like it's going to be the other one. So I don't.
Are you on the table or not?
You guys have fun with the bet. Maybe Anton will join, man. I got it.
Okay.
It's too good, man. I don't know.
Hey, but look,
you got three three talented quarterbacks.
How many other programs could say that they got three guys
that are top 5
that could start for any? I mean, most programs,
right?
Nobody.
Not a lot.
So
well, I mean, Alabama got like 3 5-stars on the roster.
They're the ones that have the deepest QB for sure. Because Trevor didn't have anything behind him. Yeah, Trevor had what that walk on was his backup.
Yeah.
Yo, we've been hovering at 212.
That's
for
amazing.
Over an hour and 50
20.
minutes.
Wow. 220.
Thank you all
crazy.
so much.
Yeah.
But the last thing we're gonna put out there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give everybody a chance to talk, and then we'll also do like closing comments and stuff like that. But the last thing I want to hear, because next live stream we'll do depth charts. Next live stream we'll do breakdowns. Give me who do you personally and why who do you believe will lead this team in receiving yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? 3 categories. 3
Gotcha.
separate categories.
You want me to go first? I already got mine.
Dang.
Receiving yards, Jeff Thomas. Receptions, KJ Osborne. Rushing yards, Cam Harris. Touchdowns, Will Mallory.
Ooh.
Now
Okay.
we're talking about receiving touchdowns, right?
Right. So you think,
Because if we're talking about rushing touchdowns, then
Okay. We'll make it 2-part. They asking about defense. We'll do defense after offense. How about that?
Gregory Rousseau is the leading sacker.
What? Oh my! Ow! Did you just disrespect John Garvin like that?
Gregory Rousseau is our leading sacker.
I hope
He
so.
won't even play.
Yeah,
He'll play 60, 70% of our passing downs.
he'll play.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
He's going to play the passing downs.
Well,
That's
yeah, I'm saying he'll play. Y'all excuse me. What's in here ain't just right.
Okay.
Y'all excuse me.
I love Jonathan Garvin. I love him. Great player. 17 tackles for losses. Last year he was going against against right tackles and got 5.5 sacks. He's going to be going against left tackles now. Okay.
Did you forget about the Virginia Tech transfer? Did he break?
No, Trayvon. But that's going to be your number 2 line right there. Your number 2 defensive ends are Trayvon on the right and Rousseau on the left.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Those are your passing down guys.
Go down your stats.
And Shaq's the leading tackler, and Gervin's the leading interceptor.
Oh. I'm gonna throw y'all off with my leading interception. Y'all ain't gonna like mine.
Oh, I know what you're gonna pick.
Go ahead, Junior.
All right, so I'm going Thomas with the yards. I'm also going Osborne with the receptions. See, I don't want to agree with you on everything, Big Dog, but you nailed it on the head with pretty much the guys. I'll switch from Mallory. Instead of Mallory, I'll put Jordan for touchdowns receiving.
Okay.
Leading sacker, I'm gonna go with the freak Rousseau as well. Interceptions, I'm gonna go with Ivy.
Wow, he is going to get thrown at because you got Trajan on the other side.
He's gonna get tried a lot, so I'm gonna go with Ivy, and then tackler, I'll go with Shaq.
Okay.
Paul.
All right. You guys all nailed it in the you guys were right on. I took a lot of my ideas, so I gotta be creative. Receptions, Will Mallory. Receiving yards, KJ Osborne. And then receiving touchdowns, Jeff Thomas.
Okay.
But I also think Jeff Thomas and KJ Osborne, receiving yards, are going to be up there, just 1 and 2. So
who do you got for leading rusher?
Leading rusher, DJ Dallas, because I think Enos likes him a lot.
That's fair.
Relationship. Sacks, Jonathan Garvin. Tackles, Michael Pinckney. And then interceptions, I'm going to say DJ Ivy. Why not? I'm going to say DJ Ivy. I'm believing in the hype.
There we go. And guys, everybody, thank you so much. By the way, we Anton's had some difficulty with his connection all day, so that's why he's not here. But obviously, we'd love to have Anton here with us.
Okay, receptions, Brevin Jordan.
Okay.
Because if Nkosi Perry or Tate Martell are the starters, they both love Brevin Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get a lot of targets, a lot of receptions. Receiving yards only because it'll be in bunches, but I don't think he'll even break 5 touchdowns receiving. Will be Jeff Thomas.
Okay. Remember though, Tate has the best connection with KJ Osborne.
Yeah, he does.
They've been working together a lot.
Right.
They've been dialing.
Yeah.
Receiving yards, I said Jeff Thomas. Receiving touchdowns, because I think that he'll be a red zone threat. I would have said Will Mallory, but I think they're going to have Brevin on the field, and we may not go 20, or we may not go 12 personnel in the red zone because that's going to be our base. I'm going to go KJ Osborne because he's big enough in the red zone to fade, slant, things of that nature. Okay. Rushing yards, I got Cam Harris for 1,100 yards this year.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
And I think it's mainly because of the fact DJ Dallas will be mostly our starter, and then Cam will be able to come and be kind of what DJ was in 2017.
Right.
Get those third down yards.
That's my thought. That's my thought that he's going to use DJ really creatively, but Cam will be his main running back workhorse type of thing. That type of thing.
Exactly. And then if Robert Burns, I wouldn't say he's going to get a lot of touches, but I think he'll take advantage of it. And I also think that Lorenzo Lingard will dominate the last 3 to 4 games of the season, kind of like Cam Harris did. Because once he's healthy, I think he's going to catch everybody off guard.
Yeah.
And he's going to show
100%.
Yeah.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lingard is going to light it up.
Louisville and Duke, they're going to be looking out for that number one.
And when he shifts, when Lingard shifts to another gear, it's scary. It's scary.
And I think
when he raises up like that,
we'll be able to rest 23 and 13 and be able to really play 1 and 22 those last couple of games so that people are ready for the Clemson War. In my opinion, that's how I would foresee it. If I'm Dan Enos and looking at it from a coach's perspective.
Okay.
Defensive wise, the leading tackler on this team will be Michael Pickney. He's the best linebacker on this team. He's
no doubt.
Shaq Tournament is the most consistent.
Right.
But Mike Pickney is a guy to take a chance to go make a play. And when you're that type of guy, you're willing to shoot gaps instead of make tackles at line of scrimmages.
Right.
And to lead us in TFLs was Nestor Silvera, but since he's hurt, I think John Garvin will do that.
Okay.
Lead us in TFLs. To lead us in sacks, I have Trevon Hill. I think he has a lot to prove.
He does. He's playing for that bag.
He might have.
Yeah, he's definitely playing for that bag.
Check himself. I think he's going to take over that game.
Yeah.
And he also hates Virginia, so I think he'll take over the Virginia Tech game.
And FSU, because he's already lit them up a couple of times.
Right. I think in those 3 games, he might have 10 sacks just off of those 3 games.
You might be right.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
And he was a terror for us. I remember him kicking Casey McDermott's behind 2015 and 2016. He's a baller.
Yep. He is a baller.
And 2017 for that part. For the most part.
The thing I'm worried with Hill is if they throw him in that Viper.
Now, I think that's more hearsay of fans than it is what the coaches will really do. I think they'll save him as a third down pass rusher. I don't think we'll start him.
No. I'm saying as a Viper, just on occasion when they want to use the Viper, I think it'll either be him or Harvey that play it this year.
Yeah. You think that's a bad thing?
No. But he's not going to rush as much because then they're going to drop him into coverage on occasion.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
That's the thing. It'll just take away from his sack total.
Right. Interceptions. I'm gonna say Al Blaze Jr. And mainly because of what
for that one.
As far as people knowing that Bandy's certified, except for Florida, they're gonna try him a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is going to be if the safeties will get to the ball before the corner. Is my question. Gervin Hall, once y'all go see these highlights on Twitter, Gervin Hall's 2 interceptions. One was they tried to throw a deep fade. And it was a bomb, but it was going out of bounds. He jumps over them and catches the ball and puts 1 foot in for the interception.
Damn.
The second one was they broke up. Bandy breaks up Mike Harley's right over. He comes in and breaks it up. The ball bounced up, and Gervin Hall was right there to pick it off and take it back for a touchdown. Those type of things, when you're in the right place at the right time, that's what leads to interceptions.
Yep.
That's what leads to fumble recoveries. Those type of things.
And
so that's why I could see Gervin Hall leading the team in interceptions, but I'm going to go with Al Blaze Jr. because I think that they're going to keep trying Al Blaze Jr. instead of Bandy. And
that makes sense.
To be safe, I would have Gervin Hall on his side as much as possible.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I'm with you.
That's why Paul and Junior both picked Ivy for the same reasons.
Exactly.
Yep.
And let's also not forget, a DB's best friend is a great pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we know that we got a good pass rush.
Heck yeah.
As far as to say great, because I want to see it happen.
And we're going to come at him in waves. when you can take a Scott Patchen off the field and bring in a Rousseau, you can take a Garvin, bring in a Trayvon Hill. Oh, and by the way, if you don't like those four, we'll throw in Jafari Harvey for you too.
And let's not forget about Cam Williams now.
That's the thing. People asked me the other day on the show if I thought Cam Williams was going to redshirt, and I go, when exactly is he going to play more than 4 games? In reality, I mean, he's Harvey's further along physically than Cam is. Cam's up to like 230, but Harvey's probably 240 already.
Harvey
I would think
is the same size as McLeod. Like, that is mind blowing.
As a freshman, as a true freshman.
You've been here 4 months, and a guy has been here 4 years.
Yeah, dude.
And y'all look the same.
Yeah. Harvey, I love. I'll tell you what, Junior can tell you, man. I loved his film. When I saw Jafari's film, I was like,
just popped out of you.
Oh man, and his agility. When you see a quarterback do, when quarterbacks do the little spin move to come out the backside, don't do that on Jafari Harvey. It's not going to end well.
Yeah.
And the player who I think that's out of position that could actually lead this team in sacks is Sam Brooks.
Wow. Yeah.
If Sam Brooks
he was a defensive end all through high school.
Right. Now, I take you back to Mike Smith. I watched Mike Smith at Miami Northwestern personally take over the St. Thomas Aquinas game. 6 sacks in one game. Like, he took over St. Thomas Aquinas game. He comes to Miami, they make him play middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Right.
I trust the development of these coaches than I do back when Mike Smith was here. But I don't want to have the same story as an edge rusher forced to play middle linebacker.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hate to say this, but in reality, I think Sam is perfect for a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Right.
That's what he's perfect for.
Or Viper for us, just a pure pass.
Yeah. There you go.
So I know Junior just took off, so we'll give him a couple minutes. I'll let you two go first. We have just cracked the 3-hour mark. We just reached over 200 again.
And we're still over 200. Jeez, and you guys are fantastic. Love you, Canes fam. You guys are amazing.
Right. And like I said, man, no disrespect to anybody else who had a live stream today. Even those that had live streams while we were on, this is something that we planned. And it actually, this was the only time that fit for everybody. Some people going to dislike it. But it was by no means meant to disrespect anybody. Just yet again, I know I'm gonna get a phone call later, but it's okay.
Absolutely.
We'll just go person by person, plug your channel. Also talk about what this meant to you to be able to do Category 5. Even though we're out man now, we're just a Category 4 right now because Anton had to step away because of his Wi-Fi issues. So we're not at full strength, but we still knocking it out of the park, guys. So, Big Dog, go ahead first to talk about it. We'll go Junior and then Paul. I'll end it off. We'll go on out of here.
You got it. Hey, guys, thank you so much. You guys are the most amazing Canes fam. I'll tell you, I said this before. I'll say it quickly, though. When I first started doing this with Junior, I knew it was special doing it father and son and doing something because these are the same conversations that we had normally, and just having him like that in a podcast, I thought it was cool. What I didn't expect is the reception that you all have given us, the help that Wholesome, Paul, Anton, Zoe, the way we received by all the other YouTubers has been amazing, and the love that we've gotten from you guys blows me away. You guys remember the live chat? We joked around about it. We're going to answer all the outstanding questions that weren't answered last Thursday. We're going to film that video tomorrow and release it probably Wednesday morning with all those outstanding questions. So people that left questions in there, I see some already actually on here. I think Sammy, Canes for Life had a few. Sammy too. You guys will have the answers to those questions in that video that's released on Wednesday morning on all those outstanding questions. In the future, we might do it a little differently because even Big Dog was getting going over it.
You underestimated that, Big Dog.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And we have the live chat Thursday at 7:00. Always, please join us in that live chat. And thank you guys again. You'll see we are going to do a quarterback video, but we'll probably want to film that one this weekend. Junior,
We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
we'll talk about it, but we are going to do like a video breakdown of the QBs and do some X's and O's.
Yeah.
But we'll let you know about that. But look for the outstanding questions answered video Wednesday morning, and then the live chat Thursday at 7. So that's good for us. So
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah, this was really fun. I don't know if I was the first Uber to reach out to Junior and Big Dog, but I remember that when I saw their
you
first
did.
video, I was the first one. Okay,
You
I
did.
remember when I saw their first video, I was like, all right, they got something special.
Thank you,
I
bro.
don't say that
Thank you, man.
for a lot of people. I knew when I saw their first video, they were on something, and it really was amazing to be joining you guys on a show like this. And I know we said let's do it once a month, but I think as we do it more and more, I think it's gonna just be more demanding. We're gonna do it a lot more. My goal with my channel, New School Canes, are we doing it tomorrow? Tomorrow? I'm down. Can you hear me?
What you say, Paul?
Are we
Dude,
doing New School Canes tomorrow?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, New School Canes tomorrow, and I'm trying to drop a video every day leading up to August 24th. So look out for those guys. It's always all about the youth.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Wholesome. Thursday, I made some promises to our fans. Since we're doing a super chat on Thursday, we're going to do a 3-hour show on Thursday from 7 to 10. So I'm sorry.
Make sure to join us.
Just a celebration.
And that celebration is because Junior and the Big Dog have reached the mark of 1,000 subscribers.
Because of you guys. Because of
Yes,
you
sir.
guys and the Canes fam that's watching. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
This was Junior. Have you got a chance to go yet?
No, I mean, Big Dog pretty much covered it, man. I mean, those of you watching, I think the Big Dog pretty much summarized it perfectly. Junior the Big Dog, for those of you watching, if you haven't seen it, checked out our channel, go subscribe and check out our videos, trying to bring, content to you guys. One thing I did want to mention, man, because I saw some chats, I think you alluded to it a little bit, Wholesome, this is not a competition thing, man. I know Zoe went on live as well, when we went on live. We're not trying to compete. We're not trying to like dim down anybody else's channel. This is just something that, Wholesome One came up with an idea. I mean, we already would support each other on our own individual channels. So we said, why not do this category 5 idea? So it's been a blessing to be a part of it. Me and the Big Dog have been doing it for a short period of time, but even before we started, we would tune into to Wholesome One and to Anton and Paul and Coach Coop and Zoe. So, I mean, we're fans, and we all beat. It's one heart. It's one beat, one heart. Orange and green, Canes family. So we're not trying to outdo anybody here. But for those of you that did join us, we really do appreciate it, man. And this is fun. I mean, this is not. I think I speak for all of us that this is why Wholesome was playing around, that we jumped on to like test it out, and we were talking for like an hour and something, because it's just a good time to be able to talk to you, Wholesome, to you, Paul, and to you, Anton, if you're going to be watching this after. Unfortunately, you're not able to join us, but we'll catch you on the next one. So yeah, man, it's been a blessing. Thank you so much, guys, for inviting us. Being that we're so new to YouTube, and the Canes family, I appreciate Wholesome, Paul, and Anton being so inviting of having us on, man. It's been a privilege and it's been a great time. So for sure.
And Zoe and Coop too. Those guys, all these guys have been. NMD said some nice things to me today. Those guys have all been really supportive too. But
100%.
So go ahead, bud. I'm sorry. Go ahead, also.
It's beautiful to see a plan come together, and I tend to look at the comment section, and sometimes people say some disrespectful stuff. People say some pretty rough things. I've had people come in my comment section and say all type of wild stuff. But at the end of the day, it makes you appreciate the people who are good to you. In this life and in this, because we won't be here forever. Unfortunately, this skin won't last for eternity. And not to get all spiritual on y'all, but to understand that at the end of the day, it's about how you treat people. And Maya Angelou says something that I've always lived my life by. People will forget what you said to them. People might even forget what you have done, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And it's about family. It's about your relationship with people and how you make them feel as a person, as a man, as a woman, as a child, as an adult. How you made them feel, they will remember that forever. Yeah. And you all, when I reached out, I didn't know how you guys were going to respond. I reached out to Paul. Paul came and not that it's anything about this, but Paul came and took off his subscribers way past me. Anton came in and took off. He still passed me at 2,000 subscribers. You guys came in and jumped from 3, then you had 6, then you had 7. You look again, 9. Now you had over 1,000.
Yeah, that was a lot of help on your guys' part.
Absolutely. Also, and we accept that, but it's never about that. Numbers are one thing. You can have 8,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, but are you a good person, and do you make people feel good about watching your channel? Do they feel like it's quality content? Do they feel like they're listening to someone that really gets where they're coming from or sees their views? And if you don't, can you talk about it in the comment section without it getting wild? Mm-hmm. Those are the type of things that I know everyone here values, and majority of our Canes fans value. I know for a fact I will not be here if it was not for Alonzo1219. I would watch his videos all the time in 2015 and 2016 and say, this guy is amazing. Like, and all my cousins and brothers would tell me, you could do the same thing. You have the evidence. Because we would always talk about Kane stuff. They said, why don't you put this on video and see what happens? And look at it. Yep. Look at how I've grown, almost 1,500 subscribers.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
that is awesome.
Not going the whole story with everybody, but I said that so that people truly know where we're coming from. We're still just guys.
Yep.
Some of us played the game. Some of us has watched it our entire life. Some of us are just fans of the game, as far as the YouTube family.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we rep this U.
Yes, sir.
We rep hard.
Oh, it's all about this U.
Right here. That's why it's not like this. It's not like this.
I can't stand when people do this, man.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
It's 10.
I feel like just grabbing their fingers going.
It's 10 fingers together because it's a family. It's a unity. We're not Ohio State with 60,000 students. We're not Florida with 40,000 students. We're a small private school that never was supposed to be good. And that's why fans and our players are so passionate, because of the fact that this U carries weight, and it's a brotherhood, and it's a family that is, bar none, number one.
Yes, sir.
So we'll sign off with this. Hopefully Anton is still watching and he can sign us off, because this is on his channel.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still here.
Anton.
I would hate to do a sign off when they're still on for like 6 hours.
I think if we all just leave, it'll be good.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That would happen. All right. Well, guys, good night.
See ya.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. We'll do one last remark by everybody, and I'll sign us off. Big Dog, go ahead. One last remark.
Just thank you, all of you. It's amazing when we were talking like, man, you think we get to 1,000 in like a year, and then the help that we received from Wholesome and Paul and that Paul, and not only just the fact that you jumped on and how encouraging you were from the beginning, man. That you don't know what that means, because I know that you've been doing this a while, and you saying those words to us, it was like, okay, yeah, we're on the right track at least.
Right.
What we're doing is, and that meant the world to us, man. And like you mentioned, Zoe and Coop and NMD and those guys that came before, and we're grateful to all of them, guys. And support your Canes fam. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed to Anton's channel, hit the subscription and the notification bell on your way out. And if you haven't hit that like for Anton's channel. And just thank you, guys.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Junior,
it's all about this U, man. It's all about this you, man. Hey, it's all love. Orange and green. We bleed it. We love it. The passion. It's all for you guys, man. In a world where so much you feel like so much negativity is around sometimes, man.
You ain't kidding.
You gotta spread the love. Spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Be nice to people. And I know it's like cliche and stuff like that, but for real, especially like this weekend, a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. So you never know when your ticket's gonna be punched, man. So that's kind of a message. I just kind of want to send you guys before we sign off. Love those close to you, man. Hug them tight. Be a good person. Try to be a better individual every day, man. Even if you don't gotta try to outdo anybody, but just be nice, man. You never know how positive energy and positive words could impact somebody else's life, especially what I'm saying with a lot of negativity on social media and the news and whatever. So yeah, man, it's all love, baby. It's all about this you, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And just want to thank everyone who joined us today, and thank you, Anton. He literally made the ultimate sacrifice.
He did. He did. Poor guy.
I'm good. I'm done. Oh man, I'm done.
That's it, Paul. You just gonna laugh at the guy.
I just kind of forgot about him.
That's a shame. Well, we were having fun and stuff, and but we definitely missed Anton because it was only a category 4. It wasn't a category 5 for a good chunk of the time.
Y'all gotta wait to the 19th to get the full effect.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yep.
Wow. An amazing experience. And it's funny because I said this before we even went. Last time we were just on live, just here talking to you before we hit live, when all 5 of us is on. And I said it. I said this show could go 3-4 hours and we won't even notice it.
Oh yeah. Look, yeah, we've gone 3:16.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy to think about it, man. When family comes together, time goes by like this.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it does. And hopefully we all can meet up at a game. I know me and Paul will be at the Florida game.
I love that.
If you guys would be able to make that or not. But me and
he's flying up to Ohio that weekend.
We got NFL fantasy drafts that weekend. Yeah. I mean, there's so much going up there. So
okay.
Yeah, we got this big fantasy draft league that's like with 40 guys, and it's 4 10-team conferences. We've been doing it for years. And it ends up being a big money league because everybody puts in 75 and stuff like that. We've been doing it for years, and it's just a lot of fun. But he's flying up that weekend for that, and we're gonna get to see the game together, though. Of course,
so
Saturday night. So
that's good, man. That is.
But we definitely got to meet up.
Yeah,
we definitely got to meet up for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have
and
to
tailgate,
even if it's like I would prefer it to be a Miami home game, but if we got to go away and start for our Canes, I'll do that too.
Absolutely.
But man, we peaked at like 260.
That's incredible.
Tonight.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That was beautiful feeling. But
it is.
I'm one of those people that sees the glass half full, but I think that there's so much more that we can do.
Keep striving.
We could take this to the next level. This could be 300. This could be 350. And like we said, unfortunately, we were on live stream where NMD TV was on live and Zoe was on live. So we could even push it even higher than that. Maybe even hit 5 come game time. Or game week. So make sure you guys share this. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way out of here. We truly appreciate it if you haven't already. Make sure that you go subscribe here to Miami Hurricanes Time channel, number 1. Go to Miami Hurricanes Talk, Paul's channel, the handsome guy with the big forehead right there. Junior and the Big Dog, the 2 up top. Rising, doing a great job. Your favorite father and son duo. That's not Batman and Robin. They wear orange and green, not black. And whenever you get an opportunity, if you do get an opportunity, swing on over to the wholesome one, Holloway, representing the U Family channel. It means a lot that all of you are here, and I can only imagine how far we can take this. This is what happens when you put love together instead of hate
Absolutely.
and anger. The most powerful thing in the universe is the power of love. Martin Luther King. Y'all have a good one.
Perfect.